And Avon's done a great job. I think he's our third leading tackler right now, but he does a lot of the communicating and the coverage checks with the secondary. He's been great in coverage. He's been great coming downhill in the run game. And then another sophomore you talk about with Easton Sadinsky. Obviously, when Tyson went down, Easton took on a huge role, basically filling Tyson's roles on both sides of the field. And he's another kid that he's really versatile, he's really intelligent, he works his butt off, and he's going to have a great varsity career here over the next couple of seasons.
Yeah, I totally agree. And you mentioned a lot of these young guys, but also, some really good experience. And as I told Coach Stiegel last week, we've had a chance to talk to the captains, obviously, over the past couple weeks. Another really impressive seniors, really the whole team, but just another really impressive group of great senior leaders and captains you guys have this year.
The four captains that we have are, in my opinion, second to none in terms of the quality of character and leadership of any captain's group that I've ever seen or been around. These four guys are ultra teammates accountable. They are always the first ones in, last ones out that we can count on day in and day out. There's no question about any of that. I don't know that I can praise that group of four guys highly enough. And it flows all the way down. I mean, you look at just little things like trying to get the kid that I didn't mention on the defensive kids grow, trying to help the four sophomores grow. And we've had a lot of juniors in the rotation. There was a point where the only two returning starters we were playing on defense was Hungerford and Dorn, and they were leading us nonstop. Dorn last week was trying to help guys get ready. I can't say enough about them. They're a fantastic group, and they make my life as a coach a whole lot easier.
Yeah, no, like I said, we definitely could see that in my short time talking to some of the guys, getting to watch some of their leadership. It's definitely apparent. All right, just a couple games left now in the year, and this week it's senior night. It's Grand Haven. Unique attack that Coach Farley's team brings to the table. They've had some struggles this year, very young team, but they're going to bring some different spread things. It's a unique offense with a lot of empty sets. Tell me kind of some of the things the defense is looking at this week, preparing for this Grand Haven attack.
This is the two things that they do best. Are they test you vertically, and they have a great running quarterback. And those are two things that obviously we've had struggles with throughout the year. Best ball you've played all year. So anytime you can work on those weaknesses day in, day out consistently, it's going to help make you a better program. So this week is a great chance for us to work on a lot of our weaknesses defensively and try and hone in on that skill set some of these elite level teams down once we get into the playoffs.
Yeah, and just lastly, Coach, you talk about getting the team to be playing that top level of ball and to work on those little mistakes. Take me kind of inside you and the coaching staff the last couple weeks, what it's been like, and you mentioned how good these kids are in terms of making adjustments and coming back with you. But, of course, a couple tough games, seeing two of the best offenses in the state. They're looming again in the playoffs, hopefully. Stay, of course, focused on the matchup ahead, but also keeping in mind what you have to improve and getting this team ready for this stretch run.
I think everything comes back to fundamentals. You have to run the ball at an elite level. You have to tackle well. You can't give up big plays either in the run-pass game. And those are things that we can always improve on. And when we've given up points this year, those have been the little things that have gotten us is just not being fundamentally sound in our tackles, not being on top of vertical throws. So it's a constant build of everything we do isn't just going to help us this week. It's going to help us down the road. And the more we can be fundamentally sound and do all the little things really, really well, that's what's going to carry over to success, no matter who you play.
All right, awesome. Again, Grandville defensive coordinator KJ Landis, thank you so much for your time. Always great to get a chance to talk to you and go over some Bulldog football.
Yeah, thanks for everything you do covering the program, guys. Go Dogs.
All right, go Dogs. It is our pleasure. We'll be right back here on MGM.
Daniel the deer danced everywhere. He pranced through fields and jigged through rivers. Then he saw it. What a stage! A place no deer had dared dance before. The hood of a brand new car.
Hey, my car!
And the car was covered, thanks to Farmers Insurance. Deer Dance Floor, December 1st, 2014. Talk to a farmer's agent. We know a thing or two because we've seen a thing or two.
We are farmers. Bum, 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 bum.
Contact the Scott Bates Agency today, 616-531-344.
Hello, West Michigan sports fans. I am Mark Kimball. I'm president of the Grand Rapids Sports Hall of Fame. This is our 50th year. And in our 50th year, we like to sit around and chat about all the great things that have happened in the world of sports in our community. I need your help in helping me remember which of those athletes, teams, and events were the most important or the most fun for you to participate in. We're running a series of surveys that are asking for your input in identifying your favorite sporting event over the last 50 years. Some of my favorite events were the very first Whitecaps game or the very first Hoops game. What were your favorite events? And then I like to think about who are the best athletes that we've seen in the last 50 years, both from a female and a male perspective. And finally, tell me who your favorite team is and what they accomplished over the last 50 years. I look forward to hearing from you on your favorite sports memories.
Located just 20 minutes from Grand Rapids and Kent City, the Falls at Barber Creek is one of Michigan's premier golfing destinations. The beautifully designed 18-hole public golf course welcomes golfers of all ages and skill levels. Its challenging track with dramatic elevation changes through breathtaking scenery, including a 40-foot waterfall, makes it a place you're definitely going to want to play. Check out the course with a drone flyover and reserve your tee times at thefallsatbc.com.
Looking for a great place to buy a used truck or car? Check out Extreme Truck and Auto Center, located at 1098 O'Malley Drive in Coopersville. They have a huge selection of trucks, cars, vans, and SUVs. Stop by their lot or give them a call at 616-384-3777. You can check out their inventory at xtacenter.com.
And welcome back. Nate Dreyer, Chandler Tim with you. This is the Scott Bates Farmers Insurance Agency pregame show, and we are just about through it. Thanks, of course, to KJ Landis for joining us this week. Grandville and Grand Haven, a lot to get to in this one for certain, CT, and a lot of big storylines in this one. Tell us a little bit about Grand Haven. Quickly, we've got the national anthem coming up, but it's a team, spread offense, sophomore quarterback. They can do some things that can bug Grandville, like what Coach Landis mentioned.
Yeah, exactly. A pretty young team on the whole. As you mentioned, a young quarterback there who's got a lot of potential. A lot of people around the Grand Haven program excited about what he can be. Looking for him to try to make some big plays and lead the Buccaneers here to an upset victory. Absolutely.
All right, national anthem on deck. We're going to step aside, be right back here from Grandville.
Somebody once said life moves pretty fast. And that's exactly how we like it. Want to build something? Great. Start businesses, build bridges, raise a whole city. Future in fighting crime? Want to save lives? Do it all here. But you've got to go forward fast. Because today is now, and tomorrow is soon. And to get ahead of the game, you got to get ahead of your time. This is your future, so take it and move all of us forward.
Are you looking for a new career? Aetna Supply is hiring. Aetna Supply is Michigan's #1 plumber wholesaler, servicing local customers for over 50 years. They offer great benefits, a 401k with company match, quarterly bonuses, and no Sundays. Once again, check them out at aetnasupply.com/careers or click on their logo on the Michigan Sports Radio homepage.
What would you do with some extra time? Shop Fastlane today.
To everyone who loves great food, let us make you a meal the Wisconsin way.
We cook each butter burger to order for you and the people you love, so it's the best part of your day.
The best.
The best.
And every creamy scoop of fresh frozen custard, pure happiness.
Pure happiness.
Pure happiness. Because where Culver's comes from.
And the heart of America's Dairyland.
Our love.
Our love for fresh food is as strong as our love for all of you.
From Wisconsin with love.
Welcome to Delicious.
Founded in 1969, J&H Family Stores has grown from a single tank truck to over 50 convenience store locations in West Michigan. Our locations offer a variety of fuel options ranging from Exxon, Mobil, Marathon, and Citgo. At many of our stores, you'll also be pleased to find a Tim Hortons or Subway. Find the location near you by visiting myjhfamilystores.com. There's one in your neighborhood.
The sinister cries haunted Mary through the night. Dawn neared, and still the voice tormented her. She ran towards the safety of her car, flung open the door, and a coyote had somehow gotten locked inside. But the damaged interior was covered, thanks to Farmers Insurance. Coyote Carpool, August 1st, 2015. Talk to a farmer's agent. We know a thing or two because we've seen a thing or two.
We are farmers. Bum, 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 bum.
Contact the Scott Bates Agency today, 616-531-3441. A proud supporter of MichiganGameNight.com.
Best sound.
And welcome back. Nate Dreyer, Chandler Timmer with you here on Game Night on Michigan Sports Radio. Grandville, Grand Haven, it is senior night for the Bulldogs and CT. We are through the national anthem, potentially one final time this year here at Grandville, and ready to rock and roll with this one here tonight. And like we mentioned, Chandler, a couple unique different things that Grand Haven may bring to the table in terms of their offensive system. Defensive system, pretty traditional kind of four-man front they're going to run, but such a young team. They, of course, had that game that they canceled against Rockford. They're young. They can do some things that can bug Grandville. It's going to have to be a game still of execution for the Bulldogs. This is definitely a look-ahead type moment for them. You have East Kentwood, of course, a big game, but it's all about winning to keep those playoff points up to be able to stay in position to be a 2 seed when the playoffs do turn around for the Bulldogs, and tonight is going to be a big test in that.
Yeah, exactly. I think this Grand Haven team, very young. They've had their share of struggles throughout the course of the season, but have at times showed some of their potential as a young team, and you never really know what they could bring to the field on any given night. They ran with Caledonia for a little bit last week, and ultimately losing that game pretty handily, but able to at least put some quarters together and play some good football. So a team that's playing a little bit better as they come down the stretch, trying to put together a full game here against the Bulldogs. So Grandville can't overlook this one too much, even though they've got their eyes a few weeks down the season. All
right, Bulldogs will receive to open this game in their home maroon uniforms, maroon helmets and white pants, traveling white uniforms for Grand Haven. Helmets and pants are each in gold. Numbers are blue for the Bulldogs. Avon Cott is back to receive this kick. One bit of news tonight. Tyson Mann on senior night is dressed for the Bulldogs, and we'll probably see him on defense a little bit. We'll see where else we maybe see him, but such terrific news to see the Grandville senior back and starting to ramp it up a little bit. Xavier Rodriguez, the sophomore, is the one that's putting this one on the tee. Bryant Taylor will also be their freshman kicker throughout the night, but it's Rodriguez, their quarterback and safety that also will be having on the tee ready to send this one away. Cott backs inside his own 10-yard line, and we are just about ready to go. Senior night, instead, based on the way the cards fall, maybe the final game this year at Bulldogs Stadium. Right to left across your radio dial. Rodriguez will send away things wherever you may be tuned in, through Michigan Sports Radio, through Michigan Game Night's YouTube, Twitter, or Facebook, and all of you also that are tuned in through the Grandville Athletics YouTube page in the video feed there. Rodriguez right leg through the ball. Low bouncing kick that hit straight in the turf at the 40-yard line was taken by one of the Bulldog up men past the 30, breaking a tackle over the 40-yard line and spinning on ahead to the 42. On the return for the Bulldogs is Jackson Sanchez. So Sanchez able to get that return for the Bulldogs and a good field position for Carson Smith in this explosive Bulldogs offense for head coach Eric Stiegel. Lakeshore Sewing features West Michigan's largest selection of all things related to sewing, from new machines and machine repair to supplies. Even classes to take your sewing game to the next level. Make sure you visit lakeshoresewing.com and mention to Brian Collins that you heard about Lakeshore Sewing while listening to Michigan Sports Radio. Bulldogs start at their own 43-yard line. 5 down front for Grand Haven. They show a bit of pressure for head coach Mike Farley. And now back to the sideline. New call goes Carson Smith. He'll step back under to tight end T. Turning to give to the freshman Jaden Terry. Cuts by him at the 40, the 50-yard line. Angles outside the numbers at the 40 and walks out of bounds at the 32-yard line. Got a little bit of a push from behind as he did so, but to move the chains on a good first carry of the game for Jaden Terry right there. 11:45 to go in the first.
Terry able to bounce it off the right tackle. The corner from that side crashing in. Was the only one there to potentially stop him. Able to give him a shake and outrun him to the sideline, and a big play for the Bulldogs in their first play from scrimmage.
Mark is the Grand Haven 35-yard line. 2 tight end T for the Bulldogs. Sadinsky, Kopko, and Jaden Terry. 5 down front for Grand Haven. Fake handoff, then a give to Sadinsky, who ran into his own left guard and falls over the 35 to the 33-yard line into the pile. 11:20 and less to go is Sadinsky, who had 4 touchdowns last week. The Bulldogs sophomore we've talked about his importance without Tyson Mann and now even with Tyson Mann, Chandler, and definitely starting to see that come to the forefront last week as he had his best performance, period, all around, had a fumble recovery to go along with the 4 TDs.
Yeah, so impressive as he's grown in his role as now Tyson Mann looking like he's closer to being healthy, not out there on offense. Zadinsky been able to carry the load for him in his absence.
2nd and 8 from the 33. Smith, turn, give, stretch play, right side. Terry cuts it to the 30, 25-20, right sideline 15, 10-yard line, and he's shoestring tackled and wrapped out of bounds at the 6-yard line by Logan Minier, who had the first tackle also earlier. But Jaden Terry running free early up to the 8-yard line. It's 1st and goal for the Bulldogs. 10:45 to go in the first quarter. Jaden Tank, as he of course is called, is on his way, I believe, visiting Eastern and Ferris, I think, are his 2 visits this weekend. He's been all over the state already, visiting the D1 schools and more across this country. Again, just a freshman. The mark is going to be the 5-yard line, actually, for the Bulldogs. 1st and goal from the 5. Give to Terry, right guard. Cuts it up, piling his way down towards the goal line, but an extra member of the defensive back core for Grand Haven joins a 3-man tackling pile and shuts him down. The mark is going to be the 2-yard line. It's 2nd and goal as we tick under 10:20 to go. And pretty easy for Grandville so far, Chandler. It's mostly because of 28 Maroon.
Yeah, he's done a great job. He's got some great blocking from that right side of the offensive line. That last run of 28 yards, a wide open hole for him to run through and just use his burst. That time got through the line of scrimmage, just stood up a little bit short of the goal line.
Defense crowds in. 2nd and goal from the 2. Carson Smith, turn, give, Terry, up the gut, bowling over the first man, falling towards the end zone. They'll mark him short at the inch line. He doesn't quite get in, falling forward, and a good stop right in the middle of the defense. Pretty big inside, or good size inside of this Grand Haven defense. Braden Rademacher, Eli Ziska, Gus Abraham, Braden Vandenberg all on the front line. Good linebacking core, solid linebacking core as well. They've gotten, of course, burned throughout the year, but they've got some pieces for a very young team for Mike Farley. So 3rd and goal now from inside the 1-yard line. The Bulldogs look to do it again. Under center goes Carson Smith. Defense crowding way in. Give. Terry jumps into the end zone. Touchdown, Grandville. They gave the freshman all 3 chances, and he buries his way into the end zone for the 9th time this year. 9:21 to go first quarter. 6-0 Dogs.
Bulldogs making an effort to get Terry in the end zone there. He had 50 rushing yards on his first 2 carries, got him down inside the 5-yard line, stood up on the first 2 tries, but they went right back to it, giving him a 3rd chance, that time able to punch it in.
Grandville, as you know, will go for 2 right here. Jackson, Hunt, Bugard, Becker, Medeowis across the offensive front will get into position. Snap to Smith, give, Terry, stretch play, right side at the 5, breaking outside the numbers at the 3, and he'll angle his way into the corner of the end zone. He'll get the 2-point conversion as well. So, what do they call it? The octopus for Terry, as he gets all 8 there for the Bulldogs. It's 8-0 Grandville with 9:21 to go in the first quarter. It's tryout season at Michigan Sports Academies. If you have an athlete interested in volleyball or basketball in Grand Rapids, Holland, or Muskegon, check out www.michigansportsacademies.com for tryout information. MSA offers local, regional, and national teams to meet every athlete where they are and help them reach their goals. What is the most memorable sporting event you have witnessed in West Michigan involving West Michigan teams and athletes? Go to grshof.com and let them know. Of course, Grand Rapids Sports Hall of Fame is their 50th anniversary. I'm going to answer that for each of us. It was the state championship, Unity Christian Chelsea last year, I think, for each of us. I think that's the runaway for me on that one.
Yeah, I think you're 100% right there. I won't argue with that one.
Or triple overtime, Grandville Rockford 2020.
Oh, yeah, that was a good one, too.
We've had a great opportunity the last couple of years with game night to see some really unique ones, and we'll still see what sort of classics are brewing up in the Road to Ford Field on MGM this year. The Road to Ford Field, we're going to start it, let's just say, a week early with a couple teams that won't play in the playoffs, as Grandville's going to be at East Kentwood. That broadcast will be on Michigan Sports Radio. We're going to Hackley, Muskegon, Mona Shores next weekend, and I am looking forward to that one already, but let's not get too far ahead of ourselves. It's 8-0 Grandville with 9:21 to go in the first quarter. And for the first time today, Strock will put it on the tee and get ready to send this one away here for the Bulldogs. Grand Haven will send Robinson back inside his own 2-yard line to return this one. So left to right, home, maroon uniform. Strock marches forward. Right leg strides through the ball. High, twisting, straight ahead kick taken in at the 7-yard line along the right hash mark here and angled up by Robinson. Starter step of the 21 and cut down to the 23-yard line. They'll fall him ahead to the 24, and Mike Farley's offense will get their first attack of this game out here. And, of course, Chandler, it's going to start and end with their sophomore quarterback, Xavier Rodriguez, a terrific athlete all around, and he has definitely shown a lot of big-time potential.
Definitely a guy that's going to have a bright future here for this Buccaneers offense. Going to have a tall task in front of him, trying to lead the way against this Bulldogs defense here tonight. A team that's struggled offensively, have yet to score 14 points in the OK Red, but trying to put it together here tonight against the Bulldogs.
Here's the snap, and a give on the end around is faked, and Rodriguez will take it up to the 27-yard line and a gain of 3. That'll make it 2nd and 7 on the end around keeper. 9:03 and less to go first quarter. 8-0 is the very early still Grandville lead in this one.
Yeah, much like last week, this Buccaneers offense is going to be under a lot of pressure. The Bulldogs go down and score right away in an offense that's been struggling. Now the pressure's put on them. Last week we saw the Wildcats turn it over right away.
Snap to Rodriguez. He'll roll left across his body, dump it over the flat, caught by Lance Poole at the 35, angles over the 40, past the 45, and dives all the way into the Grandville secondary to right midfield, 50-yard line. That moves the chains, and a good start here for this Grand Haven offense as they find the senior Poole in some space, and they're able to get to work with that early. 8:35 and less to go first quarter. Grand Haven right to the 50-yard line for Coach Farley here. 8-0 early Grandville lead here on game night. Rodriguez, long look to the sideline along with his unit, and they will break it out right here. They'll go out of the pistol. Tailback is Bodie Wilson, the senior 3-wide receiver setter right here. Bulldogs bring 4 down linemen. High snap to Rodriguez, end around give, coming right side. Lance Poole cut down in the backfield. He'll lose a yard or two, and actually on the forward progress, they will give him right back to the 50-yard line. 2nd and 10, right at midfield. 8:05 and less to go. Clock running on down in the first quarter. Coach Landis' defense running on and off the field right now as they change up their unit a little bit for this 2nd down play that's coming up. Coach Farley has been changing his unit some as well, and it's a unit that we talk about, or we expected to see quite a bit, and I think we still will. A lot of empty backfield sets, but they've been starting with the use of the tailback. They'll go away from it right here. They'll go 2 blockers off to the right side, 1 tight end, 1 wing back, 3 wide receiver set to the left, straight run up the right side. Rodriguez takes a huge hit at the 46-yard line. I think that's Cash Ruff that came in and lit him up. It'll be 3rd down and medium, 3rd and 6 to the 46-yard line as Rodriguez got lit up on the angle run right.
Yeah, they run strong 3 wide receivers, trips to the left, and then the power set to the right with the wing on that side. And they run to that side. Cash Ruff able to recognize it right away, comes up in the run game and makes the big hit on the quarterback.
Long look to the sideline as the clock ticks under 7:07 to go first quarter, and Rodriguez will walk out the unit right here from the right hash mark at the 46-yard line. Rodriguez from the pistol, wing back off the right side. They'll move the wing back and motion the tailback to his left hip. In motion right to left comes Poole. Fake handoff. Rodriguez fires right side. It's caught 35-yard line and angling out of bounds to the 31-yard line is the sophomore William Carenstra, who makes the grab, moves the chains. Some blown coverage right there. I think that was Cash Ruff in coverage. Looks like he kind of misread the quick move, and a wide open grab is made by Carenstra to move the chains up to the Bulldog 31.
Yeah, the Bulldogs brought some pressure that time, trying to get into the backfield, left some one-on-one coverage on that side. The one receiver, Carenstra, able to run a route, lose Ruff as he got just past the chains, and then an easy pitch and catch.
So Grand Haven moving the ball well early. They moved the ball pretty well against Caledonia last week. Put up a couple touchdowns against them. It was a near tie game, 2-point game at points in that second quarter of play. They go back to the 3-receiver set from the short shotgun formation. Rodriguez, fake handoff. He'll keep it up the gut over the 30, piles down to the 32. The ball is loose on the ground. The Bulldogs fighting for it. It looks like Rodriguez was able to hang back onto it. He did. So it's a gain of a couple yards up inside the 30, the 28-yard line. It stays Grand Haven football. Kind of a awkward way that ball came out at the end of the play right there, Chandler, but they're able to hang on to it, and it'll be 2nd down as Grand Haven will work a little bit quicker right here. 2nd and 7 up to the Grandville 28-yard line. 5:50 to go first quarter, and an 8-0 Grandville lead. Wilson motions to the left hip of Rodriguez, fake handoff, drop to pass, fires right side, caught 19-yard line, and falling back to the 21 is Carenstra. That will be not quite enough to, it will be just enough to move the chains on the mark. And once again, up to the 21-yard line, just outside the red zone. Grand Haven keeps this drive going, and it's the sophomore Carenstra, who he was up last year as a freshman on the basketball team, terrific athlete. He's going to be their #1 target all night long. We've seen that so far, CT.
Yeah, the second time they've been able to get a completion that way, pretty much the exact same route he ran for the first down a couple plays ago. A comeback route just past the first down, right at the first down line there.
Cold already getting dark night here at Grandville. Short shotgun, high snap to Rodriguez, fakes an end around give. He'll hang on to it, gets away from the tackle of Reed Graverson at the 25, angles outside the 20, at the 15-10 yard line. He gets cut out of bounds to the 6. He'll move the chains, 1st and goal Grand Haven. just making the tackle at the end to save the touchdown right there was Jackson Zook, but it is 1st and goal for the Buccaneers as Rodriguez was cut down. It seemed in the backfield by Reed Graverson. He reversed away from the Bulldogs sophomore, and the Buccaneers sophomore gets his team 1st and goal. So a good start for Grand Haven, and they got a chance to put points on the board and match the Bulldogs.
A fantastic job by Rodriguez, able to spin out of the tackle there. He was trying to run strong to the left side. The Bulldogs able to create some pressure there, forced him to run it all the way back around, but the speed for Rodriguez to flip the field and get to the edge.
3 receivers set, short shotgun, in motion goes Poole. They'll fake it to him. Rodriguez cuts up the gut, shifty run inside the 5, pushing the pile down. He got the 2-yard line. It will be 2nd down and goal from the 2 or the 3. We'll see where they actually make that mark. 4.5 to go first quarter. It will be the 3. 2nd and goal from the 3. 8-0 Grandville, but traveling white uniforms for Grand Haven been marching down the field so far in this one pretty effectively. They used the pass game. They've used the run game. It's been balanced. It's been a different look than we've seen throughout a lot of the year. As we have an official timeout right now as one of the Buccaneers is getting shoes tied down on the field. They'll run the clock one more time, but we expected maybe some empty backfield, some more spread sets. They've been going to that 3 wide receiver pistol, and it's been effective so far as Rodriguez will march him back out to work. I'm calling it a short shotgun because they've been motioning the tailback to the hip. They do that one more time here with Wilson. 3 receivers set. Right to left in motion, goes Poole. They'll give it to him on the end around. Big space, cuts it up, touchdown Grand Haven. Lance Poole on the end around, or on the left side, cuts it up into the end zone, and Grand Haven on the board. 8-6 with 3:55 to go in the first. A really good start from the Buccaneers to put points on the board and try to keep pace right here as well. It looks like they will, though, bring out the freshman Bryant Taylor to try to add the extra point. 3:55 to go in the first.
Buccaneers have been running it a lot with Rodriguez from the power shotgun there, the pistol as you called it, and trying to get the Bulldogs cheating in on that. They run that around with Poole, and he's able to get in the end zone.
High snap, sell down. Taylor, right leg through the ball. High, twisting, angling kick will find its way through the left upright and good. And Grand Haven adds the extra point. 8-7 Grandville with 3:55 to go in the first. The Family Fare Tailgate Special of the Week this week is the same as last week. It's all natural boneless chicken breast, and it's only $2.48 a pound. So check out all the specials at shopfamilyfare.com. All right, CT, we'll stay with you here through that. Of course, thanks to the Grandville Scott Bates Farmers Insurance Agency and Centennial Secures, our 2 presenting sponsors with Game Night, flashing across your main screen on all the MGN feeds, whether that be through Michigan Sports Radio or through the Michigan Game Night social media, as well as YouTube feeds tonight. And as I said at the start, thanks to everyone tuned in through the Grandville Athletics YouTube page on this senior night for the Bulldogs. 8-7. Good start for the Buccaneers. This one offensively, they just marched right down the field on this Grandville defense that's, I guess Coach Landis kind of said it. They do some of the things that have made us struggle throughout the year, and they're able to march right down there. Quickly, Rodriguez out will go another squib pooch kick that takes an awkward bounce over the 30-yard line on a leap secured by Drew Hungerford to the 21. He'll run it over the 25 and falls ahead to the 27, 28-yard line. And here comes Carson Smith and company. Well, they had no trouble moving the ball last time, still, Chandler, and it was the Jaden Terry show for his 9th touchdown of the year on that last drive.
Both offenses coming out and having success here for the Bulldogs. As you said, Terry, 5 carries for 55 yards, got in the end zone. Finally able to punch it in, got a couple chances from 1 or 2 yards out. The Bulldogs offense continuing to roll.
Grand Haven again brings a 5 down front against the Bulldog 2 tight end T. From their own 29-yard line is the mark. Give to Sadinsky over left guard and got cut down at the line of scrimmage. He'll fall forward for a couple. He'll get the 32-yard line and a gain of 3. It's 2nd and 7 as we tick under 3:37 to go. Very fast-moving first quarter in this one. Carson Smith, number 2 in maroon, gets the call in from Coach Stiegel and will relay that message to the rest of his unit right here past that 30-yard line. They'll break it out at the 32. 2 tight end T comes back out for the Bulldogs. Kopko in the middle of Terry, and the flanking running back is Sadinsky. Grand Haven shows some pressure. Fake handoff. Bootleg right to pass. Thrown right side. Caught LaCroix. All over at the 45-40. Right sideline at the 30. 25-20. Got a block at the 15. 10-5. Touchdown Granville. To the end zone. Braden LaCroix. And the Bulldogs on the board again.
First time they've gone to the passing game here today, and it goes for a long touchdown. The Buccaneers defense was shifting up their front, trying to confuse the Bulldogs offense. They bringing a couple extra guys down near the line of scrimmage, and Bulldogs a play ahead of it, able to recognize that was coming, get LaCroix out behind the defense, and Carson Smith able to float it over the top.
TD number 4 on the year for LaCroix, and that one is 68 yards, and the 6th passing touchdown of the year for Carson Smith. It's been the most dynamic of the Bulldogs' connections. They lead at 14-7, and they will go for 2. Smith tags under center. Snap to the Bulldogs senior. Fake handoff. He'll roll right to pass. He'll lob one over the head of LaCroix. Unable to make a leaping grab. It was kind of a rush throw with some pressure coming. And the Bulldogs unable to get the 2-point conversion. It's 14-7 with 3:05 to go in the first quarter. West Michigan Chiropractic and Sports in Jenison is your source for quality family and sports-related chiropractic care. Visit West Michigan Chiropractic and Sports at WMChiropractic.com for more details. Did you know that roller skating is in full swing? Terry Hall Roller Rink in Grandville is open Thursday through Sunday with a variety of hours to meet your family's needs. Visit terryhall.com for details. All skate, everyone skate. Also, have you tried the hottest new restaurant in the area? The Derby Tavern in Jamestown is on everyone's list for fine food and beverage where friends gather, and every hour is happy hour. Visit thederbytavern.com for details. All right, left to right, Isaac Strock will send this away. Another very fast Grandville scoring drive right here, CT. And the Bulldogs will get ready to get things back to Grand Haven, to, of course, move the ball pretty well on their first drive as well in this one. Chase Robinson, the junior, stands back at his own 6-yard line to return this kick coming up from the Bulldogs left to right. 3:05 to go first quarter, 14-7 Grandville. 5-2 Bulldogs, 1-6 Buccaneers in this one. And we'll see if Coach Farley's team can get some offensive movement going and potentially have a chance to tie up the game as well. Strock, right leg through the ball, angles him up the right hash, is taken at the 13-yard line by Robinson. Stutter step over the 25 and dives into the pile at the 30 and pushes that pile on ahead to the 34, 35-yard line. 34 will be the mark. Good return for Robinson, and the Grand Haven offense will find their way back on in the field. Let me try one more time. 33-yard line will be the mark. 2:57 to go in the first quarter.
Buccaneers offense responded the first time they were down by a score, able to march down the field and punch it in the end zone. Now again, after the Bulldogs scored in less than 50 seconds, they're going to be right back out there trying to keep their momentum that they had on this side of the football.
Empty backfield, 4 receiver set. Gus Abraham, the wingback, shifts from the left to the right side of the line. The Bulldogs bring some extra pressure on a shifting front. Snap to the sophomore, high at the helmet. He'll tuck it straight up the gut and got shut down right away. Aiden Doran helped come in late along with the rest of the inside of the Bulldogs defense. Mike Medeus was there. Brett Becker was there. A whole bunch of others were there. Landon Hunt, all wrap them up. Nowhere to go. And it's a loss of 2 back to the 31-yard line, as that was a telegraphed run and the Bulldogs had it shut down from the start. As we've seen the Bulldogs change their front. They went 4 down linemen on the last series. This time, the multiple defense for Coach Landis. They bring 3 down linemen with a standing edge.
Yeah, still able to get enough movement, easily recognize the quarterback draw, able to collapse. Rodriguez thought he had some room to run, but ended up getting wrapped up.
High snap to Rodriguez, fakes the give. He'll take it himself over the 35-yard line and gets shut down by Hungerford and Moore ahead to the 37. It'll be 3rd down and medium. He's got a good first burst through that line on when he decides to keep it, and we've seen him mostly do that so far tonight. But it is interesting to see the way that Coach Landis has changed his front. They've been a 4-down front all year long. After that last drive, they go 3-down front for really one of the first times we've seen them do that all year long. They go back to the 3-down front against a 3 wide receiver set. Short shotgun, tailback to the right hip is Wilson. High snap to Rodriguez, rolls right to pass. Pressure coming, fires, caught, 42-yard line, first down over the 45, and tumbling on ahead is Abraham, the tight end and wing back, makes the grab, moves the chains. So good job by the sophomore standing in. Rodriguez took the pressure, made a good throw to his release, his pressure relief valve, you may call him right there. Abraham, the big 215-pound wing back, 1st and 10 to their own 46-yard line for Grand Haven here. 1:33 to go first quarter. 14-7 Grandville.
Sherry on the blitz from that side in the secondary, in the second level, just a step late getting to Rodriguez, but left an opening in a hole on that side for Abraham to get open.
Snap to Rodriguez. Fake, give up the gut, then give it on the left to right end around to Lance Poole. He'll turn it past the line of scrimmage and get his legs tripped up by Zook and a couple more. Diving ahead to the 49-yard line. It'll be 2nd down and medium here. It'll be 2nd and 7, the mark for the Buccaneers.
And Dorn from the backside of that play, able to chase it down, sees the man in motion, never gives up on it, able to all the way run across the field and make the shoestrings tackle.
Bulldogs break it out. Rodriguez goes empty backfield, wing back and tight end to the left side of the line. 3 wide receiver set. Bulldogs, 3 down linemen. They show some blitzing pressure. High snap, Rodriguez fakes the handoff. Has Bulldogs all over him. He'll tuck it down, run over the 50, run over the 40. Left sideline 30, 25, 20, and starter steps inside the 20 to the 17-yard line where Cash Ruff rips him to the ground. A big run from Rodriguez. There was pressure in the backfield. He'll take it, and he gets Grand Haven inside the red zone again. Under 30 seconds to go, first quarter, 14-7.
A couple times now, they haven't had as much success running the football off either the draw or the quarterback power, but when they run that man in motion and kind of give the read option look with the man in motion, the Bulldogs defense has had some issues with the timing there. They've been either just late getting in the backfield or almost too early to the point where they can't really do anything. That leaves open space for Rodriguez and another big run there.
Grand Haven is content to, it appears, let that clock run out, and we've reached the end of the first quarter, but the Buccaneers driving again, 14-7 Grandville after one. We'll be right back to Bulldog Stadium.
Cornerstone University.
The professors are very open to helping whenever they can.
Academic excellence, character-driven athletics, Christ-centered community involvement.
Cornerstone has been a great opportunity for me to grow as a leader, just being able to approach people and be warm and welcoming and hospitable.
Experience it for yourself. Attend a Golden Eagle Day at Cornerstone for a taste of campus life and the chance to meet faculty and staff. To arrange a visit for your high school junior or senior, go to cornerstone.edu. Cornerstone University. Build a life that matters.
A sense of purpose, a higher calling. At Dean Transportation, we call it our passion. It's simply who we are. 60 years of pioneering the best health and safety standards because safe student transportation is essential. We are hard-working folks, connecting children to learning, schools to our communities, and you to a better career. Want to make your community a better place? We'll put you in the driver's seat. Join the Dean family today and help to connect our kids to brighter futures.
Welcome back. Nate Dreyer, Chandler Timmer with you here from Bulldog Stadium. 14-7 Grandville after one. The Bulldogs offense has been good, but they've had some issues so far. This young Buccaneers offense to start out this final home game of the regular season. The second quarter just on deck. Nate Dreyer, Chandler Timmer with you. And yeah, CT, I mean, it's a defense that's been a little battered the last couple weeks. We talked to Coach Landis. I think they got a big positive boost from a really terrific performance last week against Jenison, but so far Grand Haven's kind of had the magic sauce with the athletic quarterback and some good spread plays as well. They've got it inside the Bulldogs' 17-yard line, down just a score right now to start this second quarter play. I tell you what, Grand Haven's done this many times before, even when they've had teams that have really struggled. Of course, you think about the year they won in the playoffs here. They have found ways to compete with the Bulldogs early. Short shotgun formation, pull left to right in motion. They'll give it to him on the end around. Lance Poole, the senior, he has the touchdown. He'll break it outside the numbers with a stiff arm to the 15-yard line, and he'll get the 14 on the turn out of bounds. Good yardage on first down, and it's second and medium coming up for the Buccaneers here. 14-7 Grandville. As we've got an official coming in the middle of the field because, as you maybe can see on your screen, we've got to get
Gain of 3, so it'll be 2nd and 7.
The scoreboard reset. So here's what happened. So, sorry, we were trying to figure out exactly what had happened right there. So there was some confusion because there were still a couple seconds left on that scoreboard, Chandler, at the end of things. And now both teams are changing sides because they didn't change sides. So I don't know if that was still technically a first quarter play that they just ran, and now we're going to the second quarter. There was still 3 seconds left on that clock. I don't fully understand what happened right there, but they are switching ends of the field now. They didn't do that initially. Now they're going to switch sides of the field before Grand Haven gets the offense going once again after that gain of 3 in a 2nd and 7 that's coming up. I feel like for some reason there were still 3 seconds left on the clock. That's what they just ran right there. Now we're switching sides, and now it's the second quarter.
Yeah, it looked like what we originally thought was the end of the first quarter was just a timeout there and a stop in the play. Came back for that one last play now. Officially the start of the second quarter about to happen here.
All right, yeah, now it is the start of the second quarter. Grand Haven will be at the Bulldog 14-yard line. 12 minutes go up on the board officially, and Xavier Rodriguez will get ready to run this offense. Bulldogs bring 3 down front against 3 wide receivers from the pistol. The tailback motions to the right hip. That's Wilson. Left to right in motion goes pull, high snap, settled down by Rodriguez. He'll bounce it up and push his way into a Bulldog tackling pile. Jacob Sherry, the last one on him to cut it down at the 12-yard line. It'll be 3rd down and 5 for Grand Haven here. 11:48 to go, second quarter. Interesting decision point right here coming up for Coach Farley. If they're unable to get the 5 yards right here, down 7. Freshman kicker Bryant Taylor, don't quite know what his leg is, but they're trying to keep pressure on early right now on this one, and they'll go to work from the pistol. 3rd and 5 from the Grandville 12. Bulldogs lead it by a score early, second quarter. Snap high to the sophomore. Give left to or right to left. End around Wilson. Cuts it up over the 10. Lowers the head into a pile. Pushes the pile past the first down marker. He's got the 6. That'll move the chains. I've been very impressed by Lance Poole when he's carried the ball in the early part of this game for Grand Haven. He has the touchdown right there on the end around. He'll push it in for a 1st and goal.
Early on, 5 carries for 15 yards for Poole, but more of the tough yardage guy in this offense. They're a 3rd and medium. They give him a chance with the football. And able to cut it up over the left tackle there and push forward for the 1st down.
1st and goal from the 6-yard line. 11:05 and less to go, second quarter. Empty backfield, 4 wide receivers set. Abraham, the wingback, off the right side of the line. 3 down linemen for the Bulldogs. Left to right in motion goes pull, high snap, fake handoff, thrown left corner of the end zone, and that pass bounces away and is intercepted. Picked off at the 1-yard line. It was Sherry off the deflection, able to pick it off right in the corner of the end zone. It's a touchdown, or a touchback, and it's Grandville football.
What a play in the corner of the end zone there. Comeback route trying to run it to the front pylon. Cash Ruff able to get a hand in there and knock it free. Looked like Ruff and both the Buccaneers receiver kind of gave up on it, but Sherry there to corral it and just barely get it before he was out of bounds.
The ball kind of awkwardly hung in the air a little bit there, and as Jacob Sherry running to the football, getting the pick, and getting the Bulldogs the football back with a 14-7 lead. 10:52 to go, second quarter. A tough moment, I think, for Grand Haven with the way they were driving and potentially going. Grandville now the chance to take a 2-score lead. They start at their own 20-yard line after the touchback. 2 tight end T. Smith, turn, and a give up the gut to the fullback, Kopko. He'll get nowhere, right back to the line of scrimmage there. Everyone was running everywhere on that play, but it was the inside of the Grand Haven defense. They was able to lock it down, make the stop. 2nd and 10 back at the 20-yard line. 10:34 and less to go, second quarter. 14-7 Bulldogs.
A lot of times when you see that half the defense chasing Smith around the outside, a lot of times that's Kopko going for a long gain up the middle, but that time the interior of the Buccaneers defense able to get him down before he got too far down the field.
Yeah, Folis, the senior linebacker, and on that tackle, Matson McManus also started linebacker for Grand Haven. They pressure in right here, give to Terry on the stretch play, right side, has some good blocking over the 25 to the 30, turns on the Jets at the 40, has a stutter step move over the 50 down to the 49-yard line where he's shoestring tackled from behind, just able to get tripped up and down he goes, but it's a 1st down run and in the enemy territory again. Jaden Tank Terry able to get the carry going on right there. I think I'm just going to call him Tank from now on, by the way. I know it's I actually talked a little bit with Cam Terry, his brother, this week. We were kind of going back trying to get some highlights because I think he wanted to show Jaden a little bit of who might still have been boss. I think he with some of what he did, but yeah, he goes by Tank for a lot of people and runs like it a lot of the time as well. 1st and goal, or 1st and 10 from the 49-yard line. Give for the Bulldogs. Pushing his way on ahead is Kopko on the trap play over the 40 down to the 39-yard line. Sorry, Sadinsky over the 40-yard line to the 39, and that's a 1st down again for the Bulldogs. They move the chains. 9:40 and less to go, second quarter. 14-7.
Sadinsky just able to disappear to the left side of the line that time. Had a couple blockers in front of him. He was just pushing them with both arms right in the back as he was going down the field, just spinning off a couple of tackles that time, and another 1st down.
From the Grand Haven 39-yard line, 14-7 Grandville, 9:21 to go, second quarter. Under center goes Carson Smith, 5 down front, some blitzing coming on. Give to Sadinsky, jump stop, and dives ahead for 3 yards into the tackling pile. Eli Ziska, the defensive end, one of the ones at the bottom of the tackling pile. They'll give him only a yard up to the 38-yard line on the official mark, and it'll be 2nd and 9. 9 minutes and less to go, second quarter. Very fast-moving football game so far in this one.
Both teams keeping it on the ground for the most part, and when they are going to the air, it's been a lot of completed passes, not a lot of stoppages on the clock thus far.
Bulldogs break it out one more time from the Grand Haven 38-yard line. 2 tight end T. They lead at 14-7. Pressure coming, fumbled snap, they dive on it, and Grandville is able to hang on to that football at the bottom of the pile. It was Carson Kopko that came in from fullback to land on that football and save the possession for the Bulldogs. It just slipped straight away from Carson Smith there as he tried to hang on to that football, and it's right back now 3rd and 9 to the 38-yard line, 8:20 to go second quarter.
Yeah, I think take for granted how rare that is for this Bulldogs offense with how intricate some of the fakes and a lot of the timing can be, that really you don't see that much at all from the first team unit, or at least we haven't this season. A rare slip up there for this offense, but fortunate enough Kopko able to get it back underneath the pile and on the football.
Part of what impresses you about Carson Smith and how sure-handed he has been running this offense. 3rd and 9, Grand Haven 38-yard line, fake handoff, rolling right to pass at the 45-yard line. Smith fires hard off the back foot, caught 39-yard line, diving out of bounds. Sadinsky, he will be just shy of the first down, though, at the 31. It'll be 4th down and about a yard here for the Bulldogs based on this mark. So not quite enough. Good tackle made on the outside right there. And here comes Tyson Mann on 4th down. 4th and 2 for the Bulldogs from the 31-yard line. Mann checks in. Sadinsky comes out. And applause from the Grandville side as well, of course, for that one. As we'll see Tyson Mann for the first time since the 3rd quarter against Hudsonville, week 3, come on the field here for the Bulldogs. 7:18 to go second quarter. They're going for it here on 4th and 2 from the 31-yard line. 2 tight end T for the Bulldogs. Tyson Mann in on the right side of that unit. Smith under center. Defense showing some pressure. Give to Tyson Mann, and he's shut down, and that will be a turnover on downs. Nowhere to go. The inside of the defense shuts it down right away. Dylan Cummings, the senior strong safety, was right in the middle of it. Tyson Mann can't get the yardage when needed on his first carry since week 3, and Grand Haven comes up with a stop and gets the football back. 7:01 to go. Second quarter, 14-7. Bulldogs. Remember, it's about the Grand Rapids Sports Hall of Fame. It's their 50th anniversary, and they're looking for your help. So go to grshof.com to participate. But a bit of a shocker right there. Man comes in, can't get the yardage on the dive play, and Grand Haven holds.
Yeah, I think everyone in the building that saw Tyson Mann check in there kind of knew where the football was going. Buccaneers look like they also were aware of the situation, able to shut him down, able to wrap up the legs of Tyson Mann, and of course at this point hoping he can stay healthy as these last couple weeks of the regular season, and then of course the playoffs coming up. It looked like just a little ginger there. I mean, of course, to be expected when you're coming back into the game and getting your first carry like that.
He's staying in to play corner right here, by the way. 1st and 10 for Grand Haven from their own 31-yard line. Rodriguez empty, 3 wide receiver set in the backfield. And offside is coming up against the Bulldogs. I believe they got Landon Hunt up the gut right there from defensive tackle, jumping early. So now 1st and 5 up to their own 36-yard line for Grand Haven. 7:01 to go second quarter. So Mann will step there. And interesting, he's going to play cornerback right here. The Bulldogs kind of going with some empty coverage up top. Just one high safety right now, and he's shaded. That's Avon Cott on one of the receivers. In motion goes Poole, empty backfield. Fake handoff. Rodriguez back to pass. Pressure coming from Kubzak. Able to evade the pressure, throw it short of the 40, the 38-yard line. Caught by Poole, rumbles over the 45, and gets knocked out of bounds to the 48. That will move the chains for Grand Haven. Good work from Rodriguez. Avoided the pressure, sidearm, slung it to Poole, and the very, very solid senior moves the chains for Grand Haven. Down still just a score, up to the 49-yard line. 1st and 10 Buccaneers.
You have to be impressed with the way that Rodriguez can throw the football on the run like that when he's moving out to the left side, kind of able to go sidearm with it and throw at some weird angles to get the ball out to his receiver there. It wasn't a far throw, but as the pressure was in his face, able to create enough separation to get the throw there.
6.5 to go second quarter. From their own 49-yard line, Buccaneers break it out. They go back, empty backfield, wing back off the right side of the line. 3 wide receiver set. Bulldogs with 3 down linemen. Snap to Rodriguez. Rolling right, looking to pass. Throws it back across his body on a setup screen. Caught by Abraham. Rumbles over the 50, the 40-yard line. Made a man miss and dives inside the 35 to the 34. Tackle made by Avon Cott. 1st down, Grand Haven. 6:10 to go, second quarter, 14-7. And again, the Buccaneers moving the football with a chance to tie the game.
They've called a fantastic game offensively so far. Outside of the interception, down in the red zone, they've been moving the ball really effectively, mixing up with the quarterback run and some short passing as well.
Empty backfield, 3 receivers set, wing off the left side, high snap Rodriguez, he'll run it, tuck it down over the 30. He's got the 26-yard line. He gets hauled down from the waist from behind by Landon Hunt. Gain of 9 yards to the 26-yard line. 2nd and 1 for Grand Haven. Right now this offense is just churning up this Bulldogs defense. 5:42 and less to go, second quarter, 14-7.
Now adding another element.
Buccaneers are making a statement. We said that's what they're looking to do tonight. A one-win team that have really struggled in the OK Red, and they are tearing apart this Grandville defense. Plus, they got a stop against the Grandville offense. They go back up-tempo. From the right hash mark at the Bulldog 18-yard line, 3 wide receivers go left. Empty backfield for the sophomore Xavier Rodriguez. High snap, rolls back left across his body. Fires, 10-yard line, caught inside the 8. And twisting on ahead is Poole. He's got the 7-yard line, and that'll be just enough to move the chains. It's first and goal, Grand Haven. Another first and goal for the Buccaneers. 4:51 to go in the second quarter right here.
Doing a fantastic job of creating some separation there. Again, the trips to the left. Have multiple options there. Rodriguez kind of slowly rolling that way, able to see the field, recognize the Bulldogs' coverage, and then make a throw to the middle of the field.
They stay empty backfield, 3 receivers set. Poole goes in motion right to left. They give it to him on the end around. Cuts it up at the 5, dives inside the 5 to the 4. Hunt tackled him from behind. Second and goal inside the 5 for Grand Haven now. 4:21 and less to go. The mark will be the 4. 14-7, and the Buccaneers continue to make a statement here in this Week 8 game here against, again, top 15, top 20 team. Based on where you may look in the state, Grandville, their only losses coming against a pair of top 5 teams in the state of Michigan. Such a big win last week over Jenison, a Jenison team that controlled things against Grand Haven, but the young Buccaneers looking good. They go back to the pistol, the tailback, Wilson, behind Rodriguez, moves now to his left hip. Second and goal from the 4. Poole in motion right to left. They'll give it to him on the end around. Cuts it up at the 4. Lowers the head and gets shut down by Avon Cotton. A load more of Bulldogs at the 1-yard line. It'll be third and goal for the Buccaneers. 3:42 to go in the second. 14-7, and the Grandville defense for defensive coordinator KJ Landis looking for a hold and looking for a statement of their own right here as they try to make another bend but don't break stop inside their own 10-yard line.
Yeah, last time able to force an interception at the goal line. Now as the Buccaneers down to the 1-yard line and try to stand tall here again.
All right, Rodriguez from the pistol. To the left hip goes Wilson. Right to left in motion goes Poole. They'll give it to him. Cuts it up on the end around. Bowls over the first Bulldog defender into the end zone. Touchdown Grand Haven. It's a 1-point game. 3:13 to go second quarter, and the Buccaneers can tie Grandville with 3:13 to go in the second quarter. And a real shocker may be developing right here as Grandville's going to have to focus in, I think, down the stretch in this football game right now.
Buccaneers came to play here tonight. Finally got a stop on defense and execute on offense to get back in the end zone. And outside of the interception, they've played a pretty clean game.
All right, Wilson to hold, and Bryant Taylor, the freshman, looking to add the extra point. Right leg through the ball, nearly blocked by a leaping Avon Kopp, but that one does twist through the uprights. Good. We're tied at 14 with 3:13 to go, and an unhappy Coach Stiegel goes back to his sideline as his team will get ready to take the ball back over. We'll be right back here on Game Night.
Need to replace that worn-out carpet or floor? Floor Coverings International makes it easy. They bring their mobile showroom to you. Save yourself the trip and gas shopping around. See a wide selection of carpet, hardwood, laminate, and vinyl in the lighting of your own home. Go to floorcoveringsinternational.com today for your free consultation. Work with one team for a hassle-free experience from the quote to installation. And each Floor Coverings International business is independently owned and operated, so they are local business owners in our community. Floor Coverings International, the flooring store at your door.
For over 60 years, Earhart Construction has successfully built some of the most well-known structures and facilities across the West Michigan landscape. Providing a distinctive construction experience for our clients has been Earhart's priority since the beginning, and it continues to be their primary focus today. We can't wait to make your next commercial or residential project a reality. Contact us today by visiting earhartcc.com.
Welcome back to Grandville. Rodriguez will spread out his unit as Grand Haven, as they've tied it up at 14 with 3:13 to go, will pooch kick this one on away, taken with a bit of difficulty by one of the Bulldog upmen, angling left side with the ball and twisted down inside his own 30, back to around the 25-yard line is Jackson Sanchez. And here comes the Grandville offense now. So Coach Stiegel, he definitely didn't seem happy on the sideline right there after kind of that entire last sequence of the last two drives. We'll see if Carson Smith and company can get something going here for the Bulldogs. They start at their own 27-yard line after going backwards. There was Jackson Sanchez on the return. 3:08 to go, second quarter, 14-14. Still a chance for Grandville to lead the game going into halftime, but the Buccaneers do get the ball to start the second half of play as Grandville marks it out. Inside, or in between the hash marks, two tight end T. Sadinsky back out there in the backfield, a long with Capco and Jaden Terry. 5 down front for the Buccaneers. Give is faked to bootleg keeper. Left side, cutting up at the 30, 35, 40-yard line. Left sideline, Smith burst of speed over the 50, and he'll be wrestled out of bounds by Minier up to around the 45-yard line. First down, Grandville, and a good run from Carson Smith on his first carry of the game to push it down to the 45 into enemy territory.
Haven't seen the Bulldogs go to the quarterback keeper there very much these last couple weeks, but able to break it out there. They've been setting it up for now a quarter and a half here. Able to get Carson Smith rolling out to the left side. Able to outrun that edge defender.
Carson a total of 0 rush yards last week, and they've got the Grand Haven 45-yard line in a tie game. 2 tight end T, snap to Smith, give to Kopko up the gut, stutter step over the 35-yard line and wrestles his way down to the 29. He was pulled on by Cummings, the high safety the whole way, but he drags him up to the 30, and the Bulldogs move the chains on the trap to Kopko. 2:54 to go, second quarter, 14-14.
Amazing when this offense really gets to clicking. You can see how everything, each play sets up the next, and they run the quarterback keeper and the bootleg out to the outside. That opens up the fullback trap on the middle as the defense now has to think that way as well.
Kopko, a little ginger, will come off the field as Albrecht will come on in his place. The senior who, of course, we saw fullback quite a bit last year, and not much drop-off as the Bulldogs have got a lot of depth at this running back group on the whole. So 1st and 10 from the Grand Haven 30-yard line. Snap to Smith. Give. Sedinsky runs in the left tackle, bounces off of Cummings, and dives over the 25 down to the 23-yard line. Wilson makes the tackle. Good carry by Sedinsky. It's a hard run there by the big sophomore tailback to get 6 yards up to the 24-yard line. 2:12 and less to go, second quarter. It's 14 all.
Sedinsky's had some tough runs here for 5-6 yards. That one going for 6 there is able to get through the line of scrimmage initially and then keep the feet churning. Pinball off a couple guys at that second level and give this team a good chance here on second and medium.
Under 2 minutes to go in the second quarter. 2 tight end T for the Bulldogs up to the Grand Haven 24-yard line, tied at 14. Bit of a surprise so far. Give to Jaden Terry. Nowhere to go. Gus Abraham rips him down right away as he tries to turn it around the right side. It's 3rd down and 3rd and 2 actually. They'll give him 2 yards up to the 22-yard line for the Bulldogs here. 1:35 and less to go, second quarter. Nowhere for Terry to go as he turned the corner. And it was just big Gus Abraham right in his face the whole time.
Yeah, one of the few times they've been able to turn Terry back into the inside. And he's usually been able to bounce that one and then just run free. But that time, the edge defender able to turn him back into the middle of the field where he got some help from his teammates.
3rd and 2 from the 22. Tied at 14 up to the Grand Haven 22. Kopko back in there. Fake give. Bootleg keeper left side. Smith got a good block. Angles 15, 10, 5. Touchdown Grandville. Great block in front of him into the open field. And Carson Smith rumbles into the end zone. That's TD number 5 on the ground for Smith during this year. And Grandville takes the lead back 20-14 with 1:05 in the second.
Huge response from the Bulldogs offense. After the Buccaneers able to tie it up, march right down the field. Carson Smith using his legs on that drive. 50 rushing yards, 22 there on that touchdown run.
2 TDs now in total for Smith in this one through the air to LaCroix, and then that one, the senior kind of has just taken the reins and led the way in a tight game. The Bulldogs will go for 2. Right now, the 6-point lead. They'll stride under center. Snap to Carson. Give is fake. Bootleg left to throw. Wide open left corner of the end zone. Lobbed into Jaden Terry. Tank hangs onto it. It's 22-14 Grandville. 1:05 in the second. We'll be right back.
It's your Bulldogs 22, Buccaneers 14.
Welcome back, Nate Dreyer, Chandler Timmer with you here. It's game night on Michigan Sports Radio. The Bulldogs back on top as they get ready to send this one back away to Grand Haven. 22-14 Bulldogs, 1:05 to go, second quarter. Strock will boot it away to Robinson, who stands at his 7-yard line to keep this one right to left. Ball in the air. with the right leg through the ball for Strzok, and that'll go over the head of Robinson, and it bounced down to the goal line. He'll field it inside his own 5-yard line, made a man miss, and got tripped up ahead to maybe the 11-yard line. A tough decision right there as the ball just died in the turf. Robinson decided to take it. They'll give him the 12-yard line, but it's deep in their own side of the field position for Grand Haven. They trail by a score now. We'll see if Xavier Rodriguez and company can pull something out in a minute right here. They do get the ball to start the second half of play, so certainly I don't think we'll see anything too dangerous for the sophomore quarterback and his offense right here as they have to go nearly the entire length of the field, 88 yards.
A couple big swings there. Went from looking like a touchback to all of a sudden the Buccaneers are going to be pinned at the 1-yard line. Robinson finally able to make a couple guys miss and at least give his team a chance here as he got past the 10-yard line.
All right, power look, you can call it, I guess, with an empty backfield. Fake handoff in the end around to Poole. Rodriguez takes up to the 15, got wrestled down from a couple different directions. I see Hungerford and others standing around him. Second down and medium as we tick under 50 seconds to go in this second quarter. 22-14 Grandville. Curious what the Bulldogs look like after that gain of 4, by the way, but what they look like coming out of the halftime break. I think Coach Stiegel and his staff may be lashing into their team a little bit from this first half of play. Just kind of some mistakes, I think, on whole. You can see the defense when they've been huddled around the screen on the sideline looking at some things and getting a little bit of a learning experience from Coach Landis. They open it back up, 3 receivers set with an empty backfield. Wingback moves across the line for Xavier Rodriguez. Under 16 seconds to go. High snap, gave it on the end around to Poole. At the 15, cuts it up, and he'll get the 18-yard line into the pile. Zook made the tackle. That'll be the final half, or final play of the half, and Grandville has just a 1-score lead after the first quarter of play, or first half of play. 22-14 Grandville over Grand Haven here from senior night at Bulldog Stadium. And now we will welcome you inside the press box here at Bulldog Stadium and our Centennial Securities halftime show. All right, interesting first half of play for certain. Chandler, Grandville able to leave the half with the lead, but I think a lot this coaching staff is going to want to talk about because Grand Haven did some things that really bugged him on both sides of the ball.
Yeah, I think the Bulldogs are going to be a little bit frustrated trying to make some adjustments here at halftime because the Buccaneers played a pretty good first half. They've hung around, had the turnover in the red zone, and if you take that away, have played pretty good offensively, moved the ball, scored a couple touchdowns, defensively stopped the Bulldogs, which is something not a lot of teams have done throughout the course of the season. So they're doing some things the right way, and they're only down a score here.
All right, a lot to get to. Do not go anywhere. This is the Centennial Securities halftime show. 22-14 Grandville over Grand Haven at the half. We'll be right back here from Bulldog Stadium.
Bowling is a great time that combines great friends, football, and bowling. Compete against your friends or family, throwing a football at 10 real bowling pins. You can bring in your own food, or they have a pair of 45-foot bars featuring soft drinks and adult beverages. Visit bowlingwarehouse.com, Grand Rapids, to reserve your lanes.
Founded in 1969, J&H Family Stores has grown from a single tank truck to over 50 convenience store locations in West Michigan. Our locations offer a variety of fuel options ranging from Exxon, Mobil, Marathon, and Citgo. At many of our stores, you'll also be pleased to find a Tim Hortons or Subway. Find the location near you by visiting myjhfamilystores.com. There's one in your neighborhood.
Located just 20 minutes from Grand Rapids and Kent City, the Falls at Barber Creek is one of Michigan's premier golfing destinations. The beautifully designed 18-hole public golf course welcomes golfers of all ages and skill levels. Its challenging track with dramatic elevation changes through breathtaking scenery, including a 40-foot waterfall, makes it a place you're definitely going to want to play. Check out the course with a drone flyover and reserve your tee times at thefallsatbc.com.
Don't just find yourself, make yourself. Start businesses, build bridges, save lives, raise a whole city. This is your future, so take it and move all of us forward.
This evening, the Grandville Combined.
Founded in 1969, J&H Family Stores has grown from a single tank truck to over 50 convenience store locations in West Michigan. Our locations offer a variety of fuel options ranging from Exxon, Mobil, Marathon, and Citgo. At many of our stores, you'll also be pleased to find a Tim Hortons or Subway. Find the location near you by visiting myjhfamilystores.com. There's one in your neighborhood.
What could be better than a thick, crispy, cheesy to the edge Detroit-style pizza? How about the best Detroit-style pizza? You won't find it in a hut, and it definitely doesn't come from a focus group or a committee. Nope. Because the best Detroit-style pizza on the planet only comes from Detroit, and it's made by Jets. Jets Detroit-style pizza. Better because it has to be.
Then let's take a look. As I mentioned over the phone, wear and tear.
Oh man, they're never gonna buy this thing. Wear and tear? Well, there's the coffee stain on the seat. It needs new brakes. All four wheels squeak. The passenger door doesn't even have a handle. Not to mention that one time I went to my uncle's farm and backed up into a truck full of shit.
Should about cover it. You're all set.
Oh.
Don't overthink it. Seller to Weller.
There's something for everyone on Pizza Ranch's legendary buffet. Our pizza buffet features hot, cheesy goodness, slice after slice after slice. Try our signature pizzas or request your favorite combination with our Buffet Your Way option, and you'll get the first piece. With endless possibilities, you're sure to find your ranch favorites. Everyone will agree that cactus bread is the perfect dessert to end your meal. For legendary food that everyone loves, there's so much to love at Pizza Ranch.
And welcome back to the Centennial Securities Halftime Show. Nate Dreyer, Chandler Timmer, 22-14. Grandville over Grand Haven after the first half of play in this one. Let's do a scoring recap. Then I'll hand it over to CT. He'll take us through some of our stats as we've got the final regular season band performance of the year for the Grandville side taking place right now. Let's started up first quarter for a really quick, efficient drive, less than 3 minutes in. Jaden Terry had a 1-yard run. It was all Jaden Terry on that run, by the way, for the Bulldogs. He also added the 2-point conversion, made it 8-0. But then Grand Haven answers right back. Lance Poole on the end around has a 3-yard TD run. They add the extra point with Taylor, 8-7. Granville then answers with a 68-yard strike from Smith to LaCroix. They were incomplete on the 2-point conversion, 14-7. That was the score at the end of the first quarter. Second quarter, Poole had another touchdown, this time from 1 yard out, and they added the extra point with Bryant Taylor, 14-14 in Granville, with 1:05 to go in the second quarter. Again, Carson Smith on the ground, a 22-yard run. He then found Jaden Terry wide open in the back left corner of the end zone for a 2-point conversion, 22-14. All right, CT, some stats, and then we'll get to some of our first talking points from a really, really interesting first half that I think is giving us more to talk about than we had maybe initially anticipated to have to talk about.
Yeah, definitely. We'll start with the Bucks. Rodriguez through the air over 100 passing yards to go with 70 rushing yards. Poole had 25 rushing yards with those couple touchdowns, 47 yards receiving as well. Krenstra, 22 yards, Abraham, 26, and Dixon with a 7-yard catch. And switching over to the Bulldogs, Carson Smith, 2 completions for 75 yards, along with 2 carries for 50 yards. On the ground, Terry, 87 rushing yards, Zadinsky, 23, Kopko, 15. Tyson Mann did have 1 carry, did not gain any yardage on that one. LaCroix, that 68-yard touchdown catch, and then Zadinsky with a reception of 7 yards as well.
Yeah, of course, we're keeping our eye out for the Centennial Securities Player of the Game, the Lakeshore Sewing Threading the Needle Play of the Game, and a lot of those are coming back to a couple guys on both teams. Let's start with the play of Carson Smith tonight, because he had the one fumble that kind of paused out the lone drive the Bulldogs didn't score on, but the senior's been called on tonight to answer in what hasn't been the perfect game for the Bulldogs by any stretch of the imagination. Through the air, on the ground, he's been such a steady-handed leader for the Bulldogs tonight, and I think he's really proven that tonight to take what maybe could have been a really shaky game. They could have really fallen apart and still has them up into the halftime break.
Yeah, I think exactly in a game like this where you're expected and you feel like you should win coming into it, and a game like this on senior night to have a quarterback like that's been your leader all season long to kind of take the reins, understand that things are still under control, and then lead a couple drives where they've been able to score, and then now go ahead 8 points going into halftime.
And Xavier Rodriguez, the sophomore, I mean, he is really impressive with his legs, made some good, smart throws as well. I mean, you have to be impressed with what he's been able to do. Good first burst through the line as well, and he's gone to some of the keepers. Of course, Lance Poole on the end arounds has been the guy getting into the end zone a couple times, but you got to be impressed with what the sophomore has brought to the table. A guy, I think, with a big future, and we've seen him maybe a bit of a breakout here so far tonight.
the athletic ability's been on display so far. As kind of listed in the stats there, you can tell, throwing the football effectively. They've had a nice mix of some short throws down the field to move the football, and then also using his legs in the run game. Been effective there as well, whether that's more of the read option look with the end around and pool, or whether that's just been on some quarterback power runs, but finding a nice mix offensively.
All right, Westonbrook Mower has served the Howland and Greater Grand Rapids area for over 60 years with locations in Jenison and Howland. They carry lawn mowers, string trimmers, leaf blowers, snow blowers, log splitters, generators, chainsaws, tillers, power washers, and much more. Plus, they have a full service department to get you ready for next season, so check them out online at westonbrookmower.com. Also, Auto Body Experts is one of our Michigan Sports Radio partners with locations in Hudsonville, Howland, and Wayland, and Zeeland, and they're sure to help. They can help you with your repair needs as they offer lifetime written warranties with every repair. Come find them, and they will take the stress away because they are the experts. So check them out online at Auto Body Experts. That's experts with no E, just the X, autobodyexperts.com. And also make sure you roll with Kroll and stay cozy this fall and winter coming as well. Feels like it's tonight. Very, very cold evening as we've wrapping up the regular season. Call Kroll Furnace for all of your heating and cooling needs. And furnace tune-ups are just $95. And Terrence M says that we've been using Kroll Furnace for nearly 30 years and have never had a complaint. So make sure you choose Kroll Furnace for top-notch American-made products like Amana, and see more online at KrollFurnace.com. All right, 22-14 Grandville over Grand Haven at the half. In this one, we've got some stories you maybe weren't expecting to talk about. We're going to quick step aside on the Centennial Securities halftime show. We got a lot bit more to talk about there. We'll get into some scores around the area as well here tonight. So don't go anywhere. We'll be right back here from Bulldog Stadium.
The sinister cries haunted Mary through the night. Dawn neared, and still the voice tormented her. She ran towards the safety of her car, flung open the door, and a coyote had somehow gotten locked inside. But the damaged interior was covered thanks to Farmers Insurance. Coyote Carpool, August 1st, 2015. Talk to a farmer's agent. We know a thing or two because we've seen a thing or two.
We are farmers. Bum, 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 bum.
Contact the Scott Bates Agency today, 616-531-3441. A proud supporter of MichiganGameNight.com.
Can you identify your number one personal trait? The thing that you do better than most others? If not, this may be a good time to think this through. If you're really good at writing, then why use the phone? If you're great on the phone, why use email? If you have exceptional human relations skills, why sit back and let others lead? I'm Randy Hansen, president of Centennial Securities Company. Playing to our strengths is something we do very well at Centennial. And if you're already a customer, you know what I mean. If not, isn't it about time?
Member SIPC and FINRA.
And welcome back. Nate Dreyer with you right here. Chandler Timmer will rejoin me in a minute. You actually just saw him as he leaves screen. 22-14 Grandville over Grand Haven at the half. This one is senior night for the Bulldogs. Of course, make sure you check out live broadcast scores, schedules, recaps, and more at MichiganSportsRadio.com. Also, make sure you check us out at Game Night on Twitter and Facebook at MI Game Night. Also, make sure you check out the Michigan Game Night YouTube page where you can find the MGN Football Tailgate Report each and every week with myself, NCT, I beg your pardon, as we go through all the stories with the Bulldogs, the game that they last played, what's coming up, also more that's on around the area and so forth. Next week also, East Kentwood Grandville, remember, will be with another Michigan Sports Radio team. I think it's a video team with East Kentwood as well, because we're going to be at historic Hackley Stadium for Muskegon and Mona Shores. Very excited for that game for certain. All right, let's take a look around the area right now. Some scores again, MichiganSportsRadio.com. Like I said, live scores along with all the live broadcasts that are going on. Caledonia up over West Ottawa, 21-0. No score yet, I see, reported from the East Kentwood-Hudsonville game. Rockford also up 21-0 over Jenison. Byron Center leads Forest Hills Northern 7-0. And the first quarter of that one last reported, Forest Hills Central leads Grand Rapids Christian. Kind of a tightish one right there, 14-0 at the half. Allendale up over Holland Christian 6-0. Hamilton tied with Fruitport 6-6 in the first quarter. So a game there that maybe was expected to be a little bit of a shootout is low scoring so far. Early in that one, West Catholic leads Coopersville by a couple of touchdowns, and Unity has pulled back ahead of Spring Lake 18-14 in that game. Many more scores that you can also find on Michigan Sports Radio. Of course, the forfeit win for Muskegon also over what would have been Howland this year, who canceled their season a little bit earlier on. That's the only final we have right now in the area. All Are you ready to enjoy your career? Royal Technologies is hiring for assemblers, operators, material handlers, and supervisors. No matter what your talents are, there's room for you to learn and grow, and Royal offers many benefits like paid time off, insurance after 30 days, weekly pay, quarterly bonuses, and an on-site gym. And they're even closed on Sundays. So go online to gotoroyal.com and apply today at Royal Technologies. High-tone cleaners with locations in Jenison and Grandville, Wyoming, offer professional dry cleaning, laundering, bulk laundry service, shoe care, repair, and more. And they also have same-day services if you drop off your items by 9 a.m., including Saturdays. High-tone cleaners also offer pickup and delivery service, so check them out online at hightonecleaners.com. At Barbara Ford, they provide a vast selection of new and used vehicles, exceptional car care, and customer service with competitive prices offered on every pre-owned model for sale on their lot. You won't find a reason to visit any other dealership in Holland, so check out their inventory at barberford.net. DJ's Pizza Pub, located in beautiful downtown Hudsonville, serves a variety of outstanding pizzas, including Chicago-style deep dish, thin crust, and other specialty pizzas, along with wings, salads, and subs. You can dine in, order carry-out, or have it delivered for your convenience. Give DJ's a call at 616-669-9550, or visit them online at djspizzapub.com. And lastly, when it comes to your home parking lot and roads, you want a smooth, safe, and attractive surface for walking and driving. Trust the professionals at Bruce's Blacktop with over 30 years of experience to get the job done right. Check them out online at brucesblacktopllc.com. All right, 22-14, Grandville over Grand Haven. The Bulldogs getting ready to start their warm-up once their band clears the field, and we've got a lot more to get to here on the Centennial Securities halftime show, so do not go anywhere. We'll be right back here from Bulldog Stadium.
Can you name the 10 winners of the Nobel Peace Prize or the last 5 Miss Americas? The point is the applause dies and the achievements are forgotten. But can you name 3 friends who helped you through tough times or teachers who encouraged you in school? We remember those who make a difference in our lives. I'm Randy Hansen, president of Centennial Securities. What matters to us are the personal relationships we have with our clients, helping them build a secure financial future. As a Centennial Securities customer, you know what I mean. If you're not, isn't it about time?
Member SIPC and FINRA.
Daniel the deer danced everywhere. He pranced through fields and jigged through rivers. Then he saw it. What a stage! A place no deer had dared dance before. The hood of a brand new car. Hey, my car! And the car was covered, thanks to Farmers Insurance. Deer Dance Floor, December 1st, 2014. Talk to a farmer's agent. We know a thing or two because we've seen a thing or two.
We are farmers. Bum, 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 bum.
Contact the Scott Bates Agency today, 616-531-3441. A proud supporter of MichiganGameNight.com.
For over 60 years, Earhart Construction has successfully built some of the most well-known structures and facilities across the West Michigan landscape. Providing a distinctive construction experience for our clients has been Earhart's priority since the beginning, and it continues to be their primary focus today. We can't wait to make your next commercial or residential project a reality. Contact us today by visiting earhartcc.com.
Are you looking for a new career? Aetna Supply is hiring. Aetna Supply is Michigan's #1 plumber wholesaler, servicing local customers for over 50 years. They offer great benefits, 401k with company match, quarterly bonuses, and no Sundays. Once again, check them out at aetnasupply.com/careers or click on their logo on the Michigan Sports Radio homepage. If you are 18 years of age or older, AHC Hospitality is hiring for several open positions at its downtown hotels. Starting pay is $16 an hour paid weekly with medical, dental, health benefits, hotel discounts, and more. Positions include front desk, housekeeping, restaurant, and management roles at our 5 premier downtown hotels. Visit ahcjobs.com to jumpstart your career at one of 5 world-class hotels in downtown Grand Rapids, including the Amway Grand Plaza and the JW Marriott Grand Rapids. Again, visit ahcjobs.com.
Cornerstone University.
The professors are very open to helping whenever they can.
Academic excellence, character-driven athletics, Christ-centered community involvement.
Cornerstone has been a great opportunity for me to grow as a leader, just being able to approach people and be warm and welcoming and hospitable.
Experience it for yourself. Attend a Golden Eagle Day at Cornerstone for a taste of campus life and the chance to meet faculty and staff. To arrange a visit for your high school junior or senior, go to cornerstone.edu. Cornerstone University. Build a life that matters.
Welcome back. Nate Dreyer, Chandler Timmer. This is your Centennial Securities halftime show on Michigan Game Night and Game Night on Michigan Sports Radio and wherever you may be tuned in tonight through MichiganSportsRadio.com, the Michigan Sports Radio app, the Michigan Game Night YouTube, Twitter, and Facebook streams, and of course also the Grandville Athletics YouTube page. So thanks to everyone tuned in. Thanks to those of you that can see us right now, watching through our direct feeds, and then of course that Grandville Athletics page has been a lot of fun to get to put our commentary over top of those video broadcasts this year. CTRA 22-14 at the half. I mean, a lot to get to. I mean, again, in this one, some storylines you weren't necessarily expecting. I'd expect to see quite a bite out of the Bulldogs, though, coming out of the half right here. Grand Haven gets the ball to start. That could, of course, be an interesting story, but you just get the feeling that Coach Stigo was very unhappy with the way that things ended in that half. You could see it in his body language, which he's normally not an overly negative body language guy on the sideline. You could kind of just see it. He was not thrilled. The defensive staff was not overly thrilled, and I think we're going to see quite the effort from the Bulldogs. What to expect, but I mean, Grand Haven's very upset-minded. They've made it to the half now. Both teams are ready to go.
Yeah, no, I think you've seen one of the best halves of football from this Grand Haven team so far. They're looking to put a full game here together, but I think you're exactly right. You're going to see a little bit of a refocused Bulldogs unit here, especially on the defensive side of the football here, making some adjustments, trying to slow down Rodriguez and the rest of this Buccaneers offense.
All right, second half right now. 12 minutes up on the board. We'll flip it back around, and we'll get ready to go right here. So it will be Isaac Strock and the Bulldogs getting ready to send this one away. That means Xavier Rodriguez, and this has been pretty dangerous tonight. Offensive attack for Grand Haven. We'll get ready to go to work. An offensive attack for Grand Haven, averaging 16.8 points per game. Mostly coming because they scored nearly 50 against Traverse City West back in Week 2. They've struggled outside of that. 22-14, Grandville over Grand Haven at the half. And it will be Strock and company sending this way right to left across the radio dial. Home maroon uniforms for the Bulldogs, white pants, maroon helmets. Numbers are in white, traveling white uniforms for Grand Haven. Helmets are gold, pants are gold, and Strock has got it on the tee. Robinson will stand at his 6-yard line. Return had a bit of an adventure last time he looked to return a ball that bounced on him down to the 1-yard line. We'll see what happens here. Second half of play about underway. I don't think we were expecting anything near this one. A tight battle at the half, 22-14. And Strock sends it away right to left. Low driving kick. Angles past the 10. This one will roll into the end zone for a touchback. And Grand Haven will start at their own 20-yard line. Xavier Rodriguez getting ready to go to work. Lance Poole, the leader of the offense in terms of the scoring plays, had both touchdowns on end-around runs. It's been a unique offense for Grand Haven as they have gone to this empty backfield look and stuck with it, Chandler, and that's when they found their most success.
Yeah, they've made it work. They've found a nice mix of using Poole on the end-arounds to try to stretch the defense and also then throwing the football off from that and throwing off the timing for the Bulldogs, whether they're trying to send some pressure or shut down the run game.
Grand Haven will break it out from their own 20-yard line. They go 4 wide receivers set here with a long call coming in from the sideline, 2 on either side right here. Again, the Bulldogs go back to that 3 down front. Aiden Doran has been the standing edge rusher and changing around where he's been a little bit. Empty backfield. Rodriguez goes to work. Wingback goes in motion across the line. They bring Poole in motion. They fake it to him. Thrown left flat on the screen. Caught 19-yard line and rumbling over the 19. Down to the 23-yard line is Alex Dixon for a couple yards on first down. Pair of Bulldogs wrap him up outside, including Cash Ruff. And Ruff came up a little limping and hurt after that play. Albrecht's going to have to check in for him. So Cash Ruff will leave the Bulldogs cornerback position as Albrecht comes in his place after a gain of 4 up to their own 24-yard line for the Bucks. 11.5 to go third quarter. 22-14 Grandville. They go back to the pistol. The tailback is Wilson. He'll move to the right hip of Rodriguez. In motion goes Poole. They'll fake it to him straight up the gut. Taken by Rodriguez. Burst to speed over the 30. Gets his shoes taken out and twisted down, but he's got the first down on the nose just about to the 32-yard line. First down, Grand Haven. Good tackle. I think it was Graverson in the middle of the defense making the stop. But again, Rodriguez able to keep it right there.
Yeah, Rodriguez not a overly big body, still just a sophomore, but has that agility to get through the line that time, able to kind of turn his shoulders and sneak through the interior as the Bulldogs' defensive line is stuck with a three-man front here.
I think he wrestled at 140 pounds last year, and he's not much bigger this year as a sophomore, though. Send him out of the pistol here, tight, three wide receiver set. Wilson, man in motion, left to right, fake, thrown deep, left side, incomplete at the 40-yard line. The coverage was Albrecht right there on the deep throw to Karenstra. 2nd and 10. They fake the end around to Poole. They fire it deep to the sophomore Karenstra. One of the first times we've seen Grand Haven take a shot in this game, but good coverage from Albrecht. He's come in cold. They decided to dial it up. Ruff has to go to the sideline. Albrecht comes in, they dial up towards him, but a good play by the Bulldogs senior in coverage.
Yeah, one of the first times the Buccaneers have really gone far down the field trying to get it vertically. They try to pick on Albrecht as he's fresh into the game, but Albrecht able to keep pace just enough and break that one up.
Back to that short shotgun. They move the tailback to the left hip. Three wide receiver set, 2nd and 10 from their own 33. Pull in motion, fake handoff on the end around, taken by Rodriguez, tripped up in the backfield, staying on his feet, past the 35 to the 36, where submarining down to the tackle was Aiden Dorn to stop him. It'll be 3rd down and long.
With the stop.
Rodriguez close to spinning out of a couple tackles that time. Dorn there, though, to clean it up before he could get any further down the field, but a 3-yard run there now sets up a 3rd and medium. Expect the pass game here.
3rd and 7 from their own 36-yard line. They'll go 3 receivers set with a tight end and a wing back offset to the right side of the line. Ball on the left hash mark, 2 receivers right. Bulldogs bring 3 down linemen. Snap to Rodriguez. Drop to pass. Has some time. Winds. Fires left side. Caught. 45-yard line. 1st down. And some room to go for Poole. Spun out of the tackle. 25-20. Left sideline 15. 10. And shoelace tackled inside the 5 to the 4-yard line. It was Tyson Mann making the touchdown-saving tackle. But Lance Poole, just kind of in the flat, grabs it, spins away from pressure, and gets it 1st and goal for the Buccaneers. 9:57 in the 3rd. What looked like maybe the end of a drive turns into a big scoring opportunity for the Buccaneers again. Under 10 minutes to go, 3rd quarter. And they work quickly here. 3 receivers set to the left side. Rodriguez tucks it straight down over the 5. Stutter step down to the 2 and got leveled by Avon Cotton. 2 more Bulldogs. 2nd down and goal.
Buccaneers now going quickly after that big play, still trying to keep the Bulldogs defense on their heels, but found a soft spot on zone coverage. 2 defenders in the area for the Bulldogs, and just a failed tackle along the sideline allowed Poole to run free before he was barely tripped up at the 5.
Rodriguez all the way up to the 1-yard line right here as they'll spread him out with an empty backfield. 3 wide receivers set. 2nd and goal from the 1. 1-score game. Pull in motion right to left. They fake it to him. Rodriguez up the gut. Big hole. Touchdown, Grand Haven. The Buccaneers on the board again. It's 22-20 with 9:12 in the 3rd. The Buccaneers will bring Taylor out looking to add the extra point and get within 1. But the Buccaneers, they answer. Again, Chandler, they were just about shut down on their own side of the field. A big play to Poole has been their true go-to today, and it winds up nearly being, nearly being a tie game as Taylor looked to add the extra point. Snap down, held by Wilson, right leg through the ball, and that one twists through the uprights. 22-21, 9:12 to go, 3rd quarter. We'll be right back here from Grandville.
22, the Buccaneers of Grand Haven. 21.
Don't just find yourself, make yourself. Start businesses, build bridges, save lives, raise a whole city. This is your future, so take it and move all of us forward.
0.
Need to replace that worn-out carpet or floor? Floor Coverings International makes it easy. They bring their mobile showroom to you. Save yourself the trip and gas shopping around. See a wide selection of carpet, hardwood, laminate, and vinyl in the lighting of your own home. Go to floorcoveringsinternational.com today for your free consultation. Work with one team for a hassle-free experience from the quote to installation. And each Floor Coverings International business is independently owned and operated, so they are local business owners in our community. Floor Coverings International, the flooring store at your door.
Welcome back. Nate Dreyer, Chandler Timmer with you here from Grandville, and the Buccaneers on the board again. This time Xavier Rodriguez runs it into the end zone. It's 22-21. Just a 1-point lead for the Bulldogs. 9:12 to go in this 3rd quarter. Surprise been staying on in this one as Rodriguez will pooch kick one over the 40 down to the 35-yard line. Taken, angled up the middle. On the carry here is Cott. He's got the 35-30. Left sideline inside the 25-yard line of the 24. So they brought Cott in, who's normally one of the deep men. They brought Cott in as one of the up men, knowing that onside kick was coming. They sent her the pooch kick was coming. They sent it right to him, and the Bulldogs' speedy returner takes it inside the 25. The mark will be the 25-yard line.
And then you see the special teams making the adjustment. As you said, bringing Cott in. They've been going kind of between the squib and pooch kick, just kind of kicking it on the ground down the field. Cott able to scoop it up, break through the initial wave of defense there, set this team up in great field position.
9:03 to go. 1 point lead for the Bulldogs in the third quarter. Give to Jaden Terry. Stretch play right side of the 25. Outside the numbers at the 20. Pushed off one defender to the 18 and dives out of bounds to the 16-yard line. Good run on first down for Jaden Terry as the Tank will just about nearly move the chains on his first carry of this second half. 8:45 and less to go. Third quarter. 22-21 Grandville. 9 yards up to the 16-yard line and a 2nd and 1 here.
I think pretty much any time the Bulldogs have the ball on the left hash mark, you could probably call that play the stretch to the right side with Terry, and there's not many teams that are going to outrun him going that way.
2 tight end T. Grand Haven brings 5 down linemen. They show some pressure. Give to Capco. Jumps over the line of scrimmage and dives ahead. He'll get just enough and will move the chains right to the 15-yard line. 1st and 10. 8:20 to go, third quarter, 22-21. You look on the Bulldogs sideline, they're all gathered around Coach Landis and his staff as they're going over the video on the sideline of that broken play to Poole back on that last possession. So 1st and 10 for Grandville to the Grand Haven 15-yard line. 22-21, 8:10 and less to go, third quarter. They'll break it out to tight end T. Terry, Capco, Sadinsky, the backs. Under center goes Carson Smith against a 5 down front. Snap to Smith. Give is faked bootleg keeper. Left side has a blocker in front, cuts it up over the 15, diving down to the 10, and he'll get the 9-yard line. It was 4 Buccaneers in the tackling pile that all wrestled and twisted him down, including running out in space. Eli Ziska, the defensive end, the big defensive end, able to help on that tackle. It's a gain of 6 and a 2nd and 4 for the Bulldogs coming up from the Grand Haven 9-yard line. 9:40 and less to go, third quarter. Grandville by 1 here on senior night.
Ran that play twice before. We're averaging over 20 yards a carry there for Smith on that play, but that time shut down a little bit, but able to still get 5 or 6 there on first down.
Left hash mark from the 9, 2 tight end T. Smith takes his time, 1 step under center. Turn, give to Terry over right guard, pushing down. He got the 6-yard line and took a big shot from Dylan Cummings, the senior. Strong safety on the leveling blow. It's 3rd down and 1 here to the 6-yard line for Grandville. 7:07 in the third. Not quite a full stretch play. That was more of a power run over guard, but they did run it left to right with Terry.
Yeah, definitely an option, too, here as you get closer to the goal line. Give Terry a chance to try to cut it back up instead of going off tackle. Can go between the tackles and try to run some power football there as well.
3rd and 1 from the Grand Haven 6. Bulldogs only lead by 1 with the ball right here. Give to Sadinsky, pushing the pile. Got the first down. Into the end zone. Touchdown, Grandville. Sadinsky bounces out of the pile. The sophomore who had 4 TDs a week ago gets in one more time. 28-21 Bulldogs. 6:42 in the third.
I've seen these teams go back and forth, exchanging scores, going back and forth. The Buccaneers able to score first here in the second half. Now the Bulldogs offense responding, giving themselves the lead once again. Strong run from 6 yards out by Sadinsky.
Saw at the half 41-0 Caledonia over West Ottawa. So that game, or for West Ottawa's season, it will come down next week against Jenison if they're going to try to make the playoffs. All right, Bulldogs will go for 2, leading 28-21. Under center goes Carson Smith. Turn from Smith, give his fake, bootleg right, looking to pass, has LaCroix directing traffic, he'll tuck it down, evaded defender, dive towards the pylon, got the pylon, 2-point conversion, good. What a play by Carson Smith to roll to the corner, touch the pylon, and get in for 2. 30-21 Grandville, 6:42 in the third. We'll be right back here.
Let's bring out this oldie.
Don't just find yourself, make yourself. Start businesses, build bridges, save lives, raise a whole city. This is your future, so take it and move all of us forward.
Need to replace that worn-out carpet or floor? Floor Coverings International makes it easy. They bring their mobile showroom to you. Save yourself the trip and gas shopping around. See a wide selection of carpet, hardwood, laminate, and vinyl in the lighting of your own home. Go to floorcoveringsinternational.com today for your free consultation. Work with one team for a hassle-free experience from the quote to installation. And each Floor Coverings International business is independently owned and operated, so they are local business owners in our community. Floor Coverings International, the flooring store at your door.
Welcome back. Nate Dreyer, Chandler Tamroya, 30-21 Grandville over Grand Haven with 6:42 to go in the third quarter as Carson Smith was able to get his way into the end zone on the 2-point conversion and make this thing a 2-score game, very importantly right there for the Bulldogs. 6:42 to go in the third quarter as Strock will send this away right to left. Driving, angling kick may touch its way out of bounds, and it does at the 4-yard line. Took an awkward hop out, and the Bulldogs give up some good field position. Strock just can't quite keep that one in bounds, and Grand Haven's offense will go back to work. They have been very efficient the last few drives. Xavier Rodriguez and company, of course, at the core of everything has been the play of Lance Poole. A couple of touchdowns and that big reception as well in the last drive. 6:42 in the third quarter is when they'll get to go to work here.
Yeah, been playing the fire a little bit on some of these kickoffs, and it worked out so far for the Bulldogs. Pinned the Buccaneers deep a couple times this time, going out of bounds. Now a Buccaneers offense that's got some momentum. They're feeling pretty good. Now going to get pretty good starting field position here to try to answer the Bulldogs' score.
It's Grand Rapids Sports Hall of Fame's 50th anniversary. They're looking for your help. Go to GRSHOF.com to participate. Back to the pistol. Wilson moves to the left hip of Rodriguez. Right to left in motion goes Poole. They fake it to him. Left guard carry by the quarterback. Rodriguez lowers his head into a tackle from Aiden Dorn. Has 3 yards from the 35 up to the 38-yard line. 2nd and 7 coming up for the Buccaneers here. 6:30 and less to go third quarter. 30-21.
Seen Rodriguez take a couple big hits there in the middle of the field. That continues to bounce back. I think definitely would prefer to run outside the tackles, but has shown the ability to make some nice cuts in the middle of the field as well.
Back to the pistol. Tailback Bodie Wilson motions to the left hip here. High snap to Rodriguez. Fires left flat. Caught 39-yard line. Carenstra, and he's wrapped up by Tyson Mann at the 39-yard line. Mann able to dive his way down ahead and shut down that screen play right away. They'll actually mark it right at the 30.
Tyson Mann. 3rd down, 4.
Actually, forward progress, they're going to give him the 41-yard line. It'll be 3rd and 4 here for Grand Haven. Looks like he was wrapped up shy of the 40, but they'll give him the 41-yard line on the wrap-up there from Tyson Mann.
Yeah, I think the Buccaneers, that was just try to test to see where Tyson Mann is at on the outside, get the ball out quickly, see if he can make a tackle in the open field, and able to do so there against Carenstra.
3rd and 4 from their own 41-yard line. Empty backfield here for Rodriguez. High snap of the helmet. He'll roll right to pass. Pressure coming from Stockwell, and he's pressured and throws one at the feet of Abraham. Incomplete. 4th and 4 from their own 41. Let's see what Coach Farley decides to do. By the way, also, Rodriguez has got a little bit of a limp as well, and he's walking back the other way right now. So the tough sophomore, he's taking some big hits, like you said. I mean, running the ball right up the gut, and they will stay out here, though. 4th and 4 from their own 41-yard line. Grandville leads by 9. 5.5 third quarter. 3 wide receiver set. Empty backfield. Bulldogs showing some pressure right here. Stockwell, Doran off the edges of 3 down front. Looking to blitz. Abraham, the wingback, off the right side from the gun. Goes Rodriguez. 4th and 4. Snap to Rodriguez at the helmet. Dropping to pass. Fires left side. Incomplete to Poole. Doran was there along with Albrecht on the coverage. Turnover on down. No flags. Grandville football in plus territory. The Bulldogs turning the game around on these last few possessions.
A big stop there on 4th down. Albrecht, again, in place of Cash Ruff out there, knows the ball is likely coming his way, able to make some contact, very close to the point of catch there. The Grand Haven sideline was going pretty crazy looking for a pass interference call, and now a late flag.
Grand Haven bench. The 1st down.
There was a penalty marker that came in late. It was a bench warning against Grand Haven, and it will stay. Actually, it's going to be a bench infraction against Grand Haven, and it is going to be Grandville football, and they'll get plus yardage inside the 30 up to the 26-yard line. So 5:26 to go, third quarter, 30-21. It was a bumpy ride for a lot of it, CT, and now Grandville finally starting to settle this football game down just a little bit more as they'll go to work from the Grand Haven 26-yard line with Carson Smith and company. Jaden Terry, Carson Capco, and Easton Sadinsky, the backs. 2 tight end T for the Bulldogs. 5 down front for Grand Haven. Smith under center. Grand Haven shows pressure. Fake handoff. Rolling left to pass. Smith clutches. Looks deep. Over the middle. For the end zone. Stockwell overthrown out the back of the end zone. It'll be 2nd and 10. They take a shot to Stockwell. Just a little overthrown. There is a penalty marker, though, that is down a further ways back on the field. This may actually be a hold on the Bulldogs based on where it was thrown. We'll have to see what the call is.
Carson Smith had some time. Usually on those rollouts, he's got a lot of pressure in his face, and he has to throw enough on the run. That time had time to set his feet, had Stockwell deep, overthrew him just a little bit. Stockwell unable to run underneath it here. Let's see what the call on the field is.
There is a hold, but it's a is that a defensive holding, actually? It is. It is a defensive holding against Grand Haven, and that is going to help out the Bulldogs. So it's about 5 yards in front of the line of scrimmage is where that penalty marker was thrown, as now the officials are going to have to roll in and have a conversation right here, as I think there was some confusion among them even that there was a penalty marker, that it was getting marked, what was going on, and now the yardage will be assessed. It'll be another red zone possession coming up for the Bulldogs. 5:18 to go, third quarter. They lead at 30-21.
That'll be 1st and 10.
1st and 10, Grandville.
For the Bulldogs.
They'll go inside the 15 to the 14-yard line here. Two tight end T. Carson Smith under center. Snap to Smith. Give to Kopko. Up the gut on the track. Hit the ball well. Angles right at the 5. Races into the open field. Into the end zone. Touchdown Grandville. Carson Kopko up the gut. Twisting and turning into the end zone. And it's 36-21 Grandville. And the Bulldogs have pulled away and made this one a little bit safer on senior night than it may have appeared earlier on.
Finally able to get a little separation. The big stop from the defense gives them field position on their own side of the 50. A couple plays there after the defensive penalty. Nice run from Kopko up the middle to extend the lead.
Bulldogs will go for 2 right here. T number 9 on the ground this year for Carson Kopko. Two tight end T. Smith fakes the handoff, rolls left on the bootleg. He's all alone and strides into the end zone for the 2. 5:13 to go. 38-21 Grandville. We'll be right back here. Actually, we're going to stay with you here in Grandville, and I want to tell you about the about West Michigan Chiropractic and Sports in Jenison. They're your source for quality family and sports-related chiropractic care. Visit West Michigan Chiropractic and Sports at wmchiropractic.com for more details. Did you know that roller skating is in full swing? Terry Hall Roller Rink in Grandville is open Thursday through Sunday with a variety of hours to meet your family's needs. Visit terryhall.com for details. All skate. Everyone skate. Have you tried the hottest new restaurant in the area? The Derby Tavern in Jamestown is on everyone's list for fine food and beverage, where friends gather and every hour is happy hour. Visit thederbytavern.com for details. 5:13 to go, third quarter, 38-21 Grandville. Third quarter, Nate Dreyer, Chandler Timmer with you. And finally, the breathing room we were expecting, Chandler. We also have a halftime score, 22-14, East Kentwood over Hudsonville. So the Eagles right now down a score. They need to win to keep their playoff hopes alive, but Grandville is finally going to be able to take a bit of a sigh of relief with the way this third quarter's gone after a bit of a tester throughout the first part of the game. Isaac Strock right to left will send it away for the Bulldogs. Another twister that's going towards the boundary, but taken inside the 5-yard line by the angling Robinson, and he'll cut it up over the 15-yard line of the cut move ahead to the 19, where he's knocked out of bounds. And the Grand Haven possession will start from inside their own 20-yard line right here. 5:07 to go, third quarter. 38-21 Grandville, and Rodriguez and company get ready to go back to work. They will actually give them their 20-yard line on the return.
And Buccaneers offense now, more pressure on them as they're down a couple scores here. Stalled out on their own side of the 50 last time after failing to pick up the first down on a 4th down attempt.
Rodriguez from the pistol. Wilson goes to his right hip. Bulldogs bring 3 down linemen. Pull in motion from across the field. Fake handoff. Bootleg left. Looking to pass. Rodriguez on the run. High pass. Batted away. Incomplete. As the Bulldogs brought the coverage all over him. And it's Tyson Mann that was one of the primary hits of contact on Gus Abraham. 2nd down and 10.
And you can see Tyson Mann fired up after being able to deliver a hit that time. Came from the weak side of the field. They were rolling out to the left, and Tyson Smith able to come over, see the offensive player there and the receiver in the middle of the field, able to high point the ball and knock it free at the point of contact there.
Tyson been ranging more back at safety on this possession. Last possession after spending more time at corner to start the game. Grand Haven will get ready to go to work here from the right hash mark. 2nd and 10 from their own 20-yard line. 2 receivers split way out to the left. Rodriguez rolls that way to pass. Running left. Throws one on the run. Caught 28-yard line for a couple of yards by Dixon. And then he's immediately hit from behind by Hungerford. And that is just enough to move the chains as well ahead to the 31-yard line. 4:52 in less, third quarter, 38-21. They're going to work quickly. Trips go left side of the ball on the left hash mark. Empty backfield for Rodriguez. High snap to the sophomore. He'll pull it straight down and run into a pile of Bulldogs and gets knocked down back at the line of scrimmage, maybe a yard ahead to the 32 or 33-yard line. 4:35 and less to go, third quarter, 38-21 Bulldogs.
So far in the second half, the Grandville defense doing a much better job of limiting chunk plays, especially with Rodriguez running the football. They had a couple big runs in the first half. So far in the second half has yet to break one for over 10.
Right back at the 32-yard line, 2nd and 10 with 4:15 in the third. Rodriguez breaks him out, wing off the right side of the line of the 3 wide receiver set. 3 down linemen for the Bulldogs. They show some pressure off either edge and they bring it. Here's the snap to Rodriguez. Throws it back to Abraham on the screen over the 30 to the 35-yard line, and Zook knocks him out of bounds shy of the 40 at the 38. It'll be 3rd down and short for Grand Haven now. 3:54 and less to go, third quarter. 38-21.
It's a throwback screen that they've ran a couple times. Get Abraham fake like he's going to block on the line there and then drops back. As Rodriguez rolls to the right, they throw it back to him, trying to leave that side of the field open for him. It works, and he's able to get a nice gain there on 2nd down, make this a 3rd manageable.
It's 3rd and 3 from their own 39. Grandville leading Grand Haven with 38-21 with 3.5 to go, third quarter. Xavier Rodriguez, the sophomore quarterback, works from the shotgun, empty backfield, 3 receiver set. Snap high at the helmet. He'll drop. He'll throw it left flat. Caught 41-yard line by Poole. Blown up by 4 Bulldogs. Shy of the 1st down. It's 4th down. Grandville all over that screen to Poole. Kind of a nonchalant pass left side of the senior. Nowhere to go. 4th down. Grand Haven with 3:05 in the third.
Albrecht, the first Bulldog there in coverage, but then the rest of the secondary able to rally around him, make sure Poole was unable to move the pile forward, kept him short by a yard.
Rodriguez from the gun, 3 wide receiver set, 4th and 1 from their own 41. They trail 38-21. Poole in motion. They'll give it to him left to right on the end around. He's got the 1st down, diving to the 44-yard line. Graverson and company make the tackle, but Grand Haven on 4th down moves the chains on the end around run. So unique how they've gotten that run game going with Poole. They've been in pass mode, of course, down the stretch in this third quarter. 2:40 to go now, and less clock ticking third quarter. 38-21. Buccaneers work it out quickly to the line from their own 45-yard line. 3 wide receiver set. Snap to Rodriguez. Rolls left across his body. Has time. Fires on the run. Caught at the 45-yard line. No, incomplete. It is pried away from Alex Dixon with a big hit that came in there. It'll be 2nd down and 10. Looks like Dixon was going to hang on to it at first, but a good hit came in to pry that ball free of him. I think it was Stockwell that made the hit.
That secondary there, Stockwell able to make the hit. Dixon did have it in his chest. He went up and had it caught. With the hit right to the football, ended up bouncing wildly out of bounds, an incomplete pass.
2:24 third quarter, clock stopped, 38-21 Grandville. Grand Haven from their own 45-yard line. 3 receiver set, Poole in motion right to left. They give it to him on the end around at the 42-yard line. Shakes away from Hungerford over the 45 and gets blown up by Graverson to the 46-yard line, 47-yard line. 3rd down Grand Haven with 2:10 in the third quarter. 38-21 Grandville here on Bulldog Senior Night.
Yeah, Hungerford unable to make the tackle that time, but forced Poole to run further towards the sideline, allowed the rest of the secondary there able to come up and make the tackle. Hungerford trying to seal the edge and did his job there, so Poole couldn't turn the corner.
Rodriguez from the gun, thanks to Scott Bates Farms Insurance Agency, Centennial Securities for our presenting sponsor. Keeping an eye out for that Centennial Securities player of the game, the Lakeshore Sewing threading the needle play of the game. 3rd and 8 from their own 47. From the pistol, tailback goes now to the right hip. Left to right in motion is Poole. Fake handoff. Rodriguez with pressure coming will tuck it down. He evades Zook over the 50 and walks out of bounds shy of the 1st down at the Grandville 47, maybe 48-yard line. 4th down, but into plus territory for Grand Haven, and they stop the clock with 90 seconds left in the third quarter. Grandville 38, Grand Haven 21. The mark is going to be 4th and 1 from the Bulldog 47-yard line. 1 yard to go again on 4th down. Last time they went the end around to Poole. Let's see what they draw up this time.
Yeah, they've been going to Poole a lot in these situations, whether that's been near the goal line in a situation where they'd normally give it to a traditional running back. It's been going to Poole.
They go to the short shotgun pistol. Wilson in motion to the left hip. Tailback or wingback moves across the line to the left. Snap to Rodriguez. He'll run it. He'll stumble. He's shy of the 1st down. He was tripped up right away in the backfield. The Bulldogs all rush in, and he is a yard short of the 1st down. At least that's the initial mark. The Bulldogs will come off the field. It's Grandville football with 1:05 in the third quarter. 38-21 Bulldogs. Westonbrook Mower has served the Holland and Greater Grand Rapids area for over 60 years with locations in Jenison and Holland. They carry lawnmowers, string trimmers, snow blowers, and much more. And they also have a full service department to get you ready for next season. Check them out online at westonbrookmower.com. AutoBodyExperts.com. Auto Body Experts has locations in Hudsonville, Hound, Wayland, and Zeeland, and can help you with all your repair needs. As they offer lifetime written warranties with every repair, so come find them, and they will take the stress away because they are the experts. Online, it's AutoBodyExperts.com. Grandville from their own 46-yard line with 1:05 to go, third quarter. Smith give to Sadinsky over the left side of the line. He got blown up after a couple of yards past the 46 to the 47-yard line. 1 yard for Sadinsky on the carry. 2nd and 9 for the Bulldogs from their own 47. Clock ticks under 50 seconds to go, third quarter. 38-21 Granville.
I don't know if that's just the first time I'm noticing it or if that was the first time I've seen an official get fooled by the fake. He thought Carson Smith had the ball and was marking it back to where Smith was tackled in the backfield. Instead, it was a carry up the middle.
2nd and 9 for Grandville on 47-yard line from the two tight end tee. Smith went to the hard count. Now looks back to Coach Stiegel on the sideline as we tick inside 30 seconds to go in the third quarter. Smith in the home maroon uniform goes back to work wearing number 2. Snap to Smith. Give Jaden Terry. Stretch play. Right side. Cuts over the 50. Angling back left side. Twisted away from the first tackle and then had his right shoe nearly twisted off. And he will be just shy of the first down at the 47-yard line. About a 3rd and 3. Will be 3rd and 3 from the Grand Haven 47. Final 5 seconds will come off the clock, and that'll do it for the third quarter. Granville 38, Grand Haven 21. Well, there were some moments of discontent for the Bulldog faithful, but Granville has pulled away in this third quarter. We'll be right back here on Senior Night from Bulldog Stadium.
Looking for a great place to buy a used truck or car? Check out Extreme Truck and Auto Center, located at 1098 O'Malley Drive in Coopersville. They have a huge selection of trucks, cars, vans, and SUVs. Stop by their lot or give them a call at 616-384-3777. You can check out their inventory at xtacenter.com.
Don't just find yourself, make yourself. Start businesses, build bridges, save lives, raise a whole city. This is your future, so take it and move all of us forward.
Rockford 28.
Welcome back. Nate Dreyer, Chandler Timmer with you here on Game Night on Michigan Sports Radio. The Family Fare Tailgate Special of the Week this week is all natural boneless chicken breast, and it's only $2.48 a pound. To check out all the specials at shopfamilyfare.com. All right, final 12 minutes of the final home game of the regular season for the Bulldogs here on Senior Night. They lead 38-21, looking to stretch it to 6-2 on the year. They've got a 3rd and 3 now from the Grand Haven 47-yard line. Snap to Smith, give to Sadinsky. Left side has good blocking, got nearly twisted down, evaded the one tackle, got to the 45-yard line, and then twisted down from behind, a yard short of the first down by Keegan Hunt. It'll be 4th down and 1 as kind of a good blocked play initially, Chandler, just slow to develop, and Keegan Hunt able to hunt down Sadinsky, and it's 4th and 1 from the 45 now.
Yes, Sadinsky never really had a clear lane to run. He was waiting for some blocks to develop down the field. Never able to do so. Just pushes ahead. Now 4th and very short for the Bulldogs.
4th and 1, Grand Haven 45-yard line. Two tight end tee. The defense crowding way in with 2 high safeties. Give to Terry. Jumps over the line of scrimmage and stutter steps ahead for the first down into the pile to the 42-yard line. So Tank moves the chains, and the Bulldogs will keep it running down the field here. 11:20 and less to go, third quarter. 38-21. And again, ever since the injury to Mann, Jaden Terry, the freshman, has been the go-to guy in short yardage situations. They haven't had to be quite as heavy on him the way that this game script has evolved down the stretch. But of course, we know the games that are coming up next week against East Kentwood and even into the playoffs, what an important role he's going to play. So from the Grand Haven 42-yard line, Granville left hash, go back to work. Buccaneers with 5 on the front line. Fake handoff. Smith rolling right to pass. Lobs one all alone. Caught LaCroix. 20, 15, 10-yard line. Raced down from behind by Robinson and tackled at the 4. Ball maybe just a little underthrown. The only reason why LaCroix had to slightly hesitate, wasn't home free. But again, Smith puts LaCroix in the open field. It's 1st and goal, Granville.
LaCroix now over 100 receiving yards on 2 receptions. Again, very close to having another touchdown there. The ball thrown out in front of him enough to where he had to adjust his route to go and get it. It was pretty open down the field, but some pressure in the face of Smith forcing the throw there, but another big completion for the Bulldogs offense.
1st and goal from the 5. Carson Smith from the 2 tight end tee will go to work. Kopko in the middle of Terry and Sadinsky. Defense crowds way in, gives Sadinsky. He'll stretch it left side. Gets a good block from Jaden Terry. Cuts it up, gets tripped up just shy of the end zone. He'll fall to the 1-yard line short. He dove towards the end zone just shy, but, I mean, Sadinsky had a chance to cut it up right there. I don't know if it was one of his own blockers or who it was. He got tripped up just a little and falls down a yard short of the end zone. 2nd and goal from the 1.
Feet tangled up just enough. You could see him slam the ball to the ground because he could taste the end zone. He felt very close there, as just barely tripped up.
Quite the assist taken away from Jaden Terry as well. He laid a really nice block in the open field. So 2nd and goal from actually it's going to be the 2-yard line right here as Smith goes under center. 2 tight end T. And now the officials are going to quick stop the play because we've got a timeout called by the Grand Haven sideline. 9:54 to go, 4th quarter. 38-21 Grandville over the Buccaneers. We'll be right back.
Check. That is Grand Haven's.
Michigan Sports Academies offers quality youth sports in Grand Rapids, Holland, and Muskegon. With a wide variety of programming, MSA has something for new athletes who are just starting out to experienced athletes looking to take their game to the next level. Year-round programming is offered in basketball, lacrosse, soccer, and volleyball. Your athlete will love the quality of instruction from experienced coaches and state-of-the-art facilities conveniently located in Grand Rapids and along the lakeshore. Check us out at michigansportsacademies.com.
Looking for a great place to buy a used truck or car? Check out Extreme Truck and Auto Center, located at 1098 O'Malley Drive in Coopersville. They have a huge selection of trucks, cars, vans, and SUVs. Stop by their lot or give them a call at 616-384-3777.
Tennis ball.
Grandville getting ready to go to work. Handoff right side. Jaden Terry cutting it up around the defender into the end zone. Touchdown Grandville. They stretch Jaden Terry to the right side. He'll find his way into the end zone. And the Bulldogs are on the board one more time with the freshman 44-21 with 9:52 in the 4th.
Terry adding to his impressive night, over 100 yards rushing. Now attacking on another touchdown, his 2nd of the night.
Bulldogs were quickly there out of that timeout as they ran to the line and got the offense back on the field. And it's now 44-21 on senior night. A really impressive second half for the Bulldogs. Have turned this one around as Carson Smith and company will go for 2 as they do until they are leading by at least 35 points like we saw a week ago. And out of the 2 tight end T, Carson will get ready to go to work against a 5 down front. Snap to Smith. Fake handoff. He'll roll right here, tucking it down, evading a tackler, and high-stepping his way into the end zone. 46-21 Grandville, 9:52 in the 4th. We'll be right back from Bulldog Stadium.
46. The Buccaneers 21.
Can you name the 10 winners of the Nobel Peace Prize or the last 5 Miss Americas? The point is the applause dies and the achievements are forgotten. But can you name 3 friends who helped you through tough times or teachers who encouraged you in school? We remember those who make a difference in our lives. I'm Randy Hansen, president of Centennial Securities. What matters to us are the personal relationships we have with our clients, helping them build a secure financial future. As a Centennial Securities customer, you know what I mean. If you're not, isn't it about time? Member SIPC and FINRA.
Daniel the deer danced everywhere. He pranced through fields and jigged through rivers. Then he saw it. What a stage! A place no deer had dared dance before. The hood of a brand new car.
Hey, my car!
And the car was covered, thanks to Farmers Insurance. Deer Dance Floor, December 1st, 2014. Talk to a farmer's agent. We know a thing or two because we've seen a thing or two.
We are farmers. Bum, 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 bum.
Contact the Scott Bates Agency today, 616-531-3441. A proud supporter of MichiganGameNight.com.
All right, welcome back to Grandville. Another touchdown for Jaden Terry as the freshman gets into the end zone for the second time this evening. 46-21 Grandville, left to right. Isaac Strackel booted away for the Bulldogs as we go inside. 10 minutes to go. Short kick bounces straight up at the 15-yard line, taken by Robinson behind blockers. He'll try to twist his way on ahead in a pile of 3, 4, 5. Bulldogs engulf him at the 17-yard line. And there is where the Grand Haven offense will get ready to go to work. So that touchdown for Jaden, second night, and now 10 on the year. And now finally someone has more total touchdowns on the year than Tyson Mann. It took that long for someone to pass Tyson Mann in his 2.5 weeks of work early in the season. He's back now as well, looking to take his crown throughout the rest of the season. 9:43 to go, 4th quarter, 46-21 Grandville. And the Buccaneers offense, led by sophomore Xavier Rodriguez, will work their way out at their own 18-yard line. The mark from the pistol. 3 wide receivers set. Wing back off the left of the line. Pull in motion left to right. Snap to Rodriguez. He'll roll left, looking to pass. Now angles back the other way, throws it in the flat, nearly intercepted, caught at the 11-yard line by Poole, but 4 Bulldogs were all over him to wrestle him down immediately. One of them was Mike Medeiros that came out of there to hunt him down and knock him down deep in the backfield to the 10-yard line. That's a loss of, 8 on first down. 2nd and 17, loss of 7.
Yeah, great recognition there on the first down. They roll out to the left and then run a version of that screen back to the right side. Medeiros was able to jump all over it, caught out there as well.
Rodriguez from the pistol, high snap, fake handoff. He'll carry it up the gut and got shut down by Avon Cott, who lowered the head at the 15-yard line to shut him down shy of the original first down or original line of scrimmage. It's 3rd down and long at the 15, 8:57 in the 4th, 46-21 Grandville. Kind of amazing, Chandler, that we even got to this sort of score point the way that this one went, but I think the Grandville coaching staff can be pretty happy with this second half and the bounce back from their guys.
Yeah, I think the message was received by the defense after giving us score on the first possession of the second half. They've shut things down, got a couple 4th down stops, and let themselves have a lead here.
End around give, left side to Poole, cut it up around the 15 to the 20. Outside the numbers, 25-30. Gets knocked into the Grandville bench. We'll see the mark because that'll be at the marker, and it will move the chains. So they give him the 30-yard line. That moves the chains for Poole on the end around. He gets all 12 yards they needed. First down, Grand Haven. 8:26 in the 4th quarter. It's remained their most dynamic run play, really, or offensive play, is that end around. Whether they keep it on the option or they give it to Poole, it's been their most dynamic feature of their offense. They have a couple of their touchdowns coming from that. Empty backfield, Rodriguez, 3 receivers set. Bulldogs bring 3 down linemen. 1st and 10 from the 30. Rodriguez rolling right to pass. Has some pressure in his face. Cocks it back. Fires deep. Right sideline. Caught at the 40. 35-30. It's Carenstra. Inside the 15. 10-5. Touchdown. Grand Haven. Rodriguez wings it down the right side of the field. Carenstra the grab. And Grand Haven back on the board again. 46-27.
There's some of that vertical deep play threat that this Buccaneers offense loves to get to. Carenstra sneaking behind Hungerford on the far side of the field. Rodriguez flashing the big arm to get it down there and hit him in stride.
They look to add the extra point, 46-27. And what is now one of the better offensive performances, really, against the Bulldogs all year long. When you look at the course of this season, scoring 27 points, 28 points, kind of right around what Hudsonville scored. It's a high snap, and it's a fake as Bodie Wilson's forced to take it. He'll throw it to the end zone, and it is caught for the 2-point conversion. Somehow hung on to and grabbed by Connor Van Beek, the sophomore. Broken play off the high snap, and the fake turns into 2 points for the Buccaneers, 46-29. And we will be right back here from Bulldog Stadium.
The sinister cries haunted Mary through the night. Dawn neared, and still the voice tormented her. She ran towards the safety of her car, flung open the door, and a coyote had somehow gotten locked inside. But the damaged interior was covered thanks to Farmers Insurance. Coyote Carpool, August 1st, 2015. Talk to a farmer's agent. We know a thing or two because we've seen a thing or two.
We are farmers. Bum, 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 bum.
Contact the Scott Bates Agency today, 616-531-3441. A proud supporter of MichiganGameNight.com.
Can you identify your number one personal trait? The thing that you do better than most others? If not, this may be a good time to think this through. If you're really good at writing, then why use the phone? If you're great on the phone, why use email? If you have exceptional human relation skills, why sit back and let others lead? I'm Randy Hansen, president of Centennial Securities Company. Playing to our strengths is something we do very well at Centennial. And if you're already a customer, you know what I mean. If not, isn't it about time?
Member SIPC and FINRA.
Onside kick is fielded by the Bulldogs, and they will get possession. There also is a flag behind the play and probably an illegal touching penalty that's going to be coming up here against the Buccaneers. And I got some pushing and shoving as well between the two sides as Grandville is running out on the field along with some of their coaches trying to clear things out right there. I don't quite know the melee at the center of things, but definitely some pushing and shoving back and forth, and now even more laundry that's going to be on the field here. I think it was Carson Kopko maybe in the middle of things for the Bulldogs as the shifty fullback was shaking things up along with Mike Medeiros. Didn't see all the Buccaneers involved, so now the officials are going to have to get this sorted out. So an onside kick that it looked like there may have been an illegal touching play behind the ball also called. You go along with that, you have an extra flag for that pushing and shoving match. You're very unhappy. Coach Land is gathering his defense. He's unhappy about the deep play. He's unhappy about the 29 points, and now he's unhappy about the fight as well, as we have an unsportsmanlike against either team that is called with that shoving match that you saw. So things will just come right back to the 50-yard line. Both coaches are on the field getting the message in right now, and the Bulldogs offense to get ready to go to work with 7:58 to go in the fourth quarter. 46-29. I said to you off air, Chandler, I think it's going to be one of those kind of finishes to the game. I think you know exactly what I mean when I say that, with the way that last drive went, and now a little bit of shoving as well. And Grandville right at midfield on the block G at center field here. We'll get ready to go to work out of the 2 tight end T. Carson Smith will stay in charge of the starting offensive unit with the 5 down front the other way. Snap to Smith, give to Terry. Stretch play, right side. Has a blocker over the 40 to the 35-yard line. Right sideline, 30. Gets twisted out of bounds to the 28-yard line. Racing in the open field, the senior outside linebacker Josh McManus makes the tackle, but Jaden Terry again with a big chunk play on, guess what, a stretch run to the right. 7:49 fourth quarter, 46-29.
Yeah, that's going to be a pretty successful recipe for this Bulldogs offense. His 4th carry of over 20 yards on the night, showing the ability to have some big plays pretty much at any time he's touching the football.
Really, the main explosiveness from this offense has been from Terry. It's been from the pass game. It's been from the bootleg run game for Carson Smith. That's where they've been able to find some explosiveness. At 46 points now in this game with 7.5 to go fourth quarter, 46-29. And from the Grand Haven 27-yard line, they go back to work. Out of the tight T formation, timeout Grand Haven is called. 7:19 to go in the fourth quarter. And Coach Farley wants to talk about something with his defense right here. It's tryout season at Michigan Sports Academies. If you have an athlete interested in volleyball or basketball in Grand Rapids, Holland, or Muskegon, check out MichiganSportsAcademies.com for tryout info. MSA offers local, regional, and national teams to meet every athlete where they are and help them reach their goals. Also, the Grand Rapids Sports Hall of Fame. And what is your most memorable sporting event that you witnessed in West Michigan involving West Michigan teams and athletes? You can check out that and answer those questions and many more at GRSHOF.com. And of course, game recap tonight, along with much more at MichiganSportsRadio.com. You can find standing schedules and live scoring. 7:19 to go in the fourth, 46-29.
One more time, wrapping up year number 24 for me up here. There we go.
And the Bulldogs will break it out 1st and 10 from the 27-yard line on the right hash mark. 5 down front for Grand Haven. Tight T formation. Kopko in the middle of Terry and Sedinsky. Smith strides under. Give to Sedinsky, left side, shoving the defense on ahead, twisting down to the 26-yard line as he's slung to the ground by Robinson. But a good gain to the 21 for 5 or 6 on first down. And the Bulldogs have got second coming up. Under 7 minutes to go, fourth quarter, 46-29. One of those games I think Grandville would like to see one more score here, get some time off the clock, and just get out of it, because they've got a lot good and bad to break down before. I mean, they're going to have that's a tough East Kentwood matchup next week, I have to say. The way that this team has kind of struggled with some defensive stuff down the stretch, you have to definitely look at that. Ball goes in between the hash marks, 2nd and 4 from the 21-yard line for Smith. 2 tight end T. Defense showing pressure off the left edge. Give to Terry straight up the middle, bouncing down, twisting, working ahead, jumped over the line, and they got shut down by Gabe Abraham. Or Gus Abraham, I should say, right back at the line of scrimmage to the 20-yard line. It'll give him 1 yard on the forward progress. It's 3rd and 3 for the Bulldogs. 6.5 or 6:20 to go, fourth quarter, 46-29.
Yeah, Terry wrapped up around the ankles that time, trying to still fight with everything he had, trying to break free, but couldn't as he get wrapped up, and only a short gain there.
Hudsonville did put points on the board, 22-20, in that game. That game is on Michigan Sports Radio, by the way. Joey Sutherland and company on the call of that one. 3rd and 3, Grandville from the Grand Haven 20-yard line. 5:58 to go, fourth quarter, 46-29. Long calling from the sideline, and Smith goes to work. Grand Haven showing pressure off either end. Give to Terry, right side, cuts it up at the 20, pushing down. He's short of the first down on the 19-yard line, and 3 Buccaneers shove him all the way back to the 30 before the forward progress, and is finally called and whistled down. So Terry gets just a yard, and now it's 4th and 2 inside the 20 to the 19 as Grand Haven's defense holding strong right now, including Dylan Cummings, that senior safety that seemingly has been coming off the edge and involved in a lot of those backfield tackles. 5:23 to go, fourth quarter, 46-29 Grandville, and they look to move the chains right here as a unhappy Coach Stiegel relays a message in from the sideline. Too tight NT for the Bulldogs. 5:09, fourth quarter. They're taking some time off the clock as Smith strides under center. And again, Grand Haven shows pressure. Gives it to Dinsky right up the gut. He's got the first down, pushing for ball on the ground. And Grand Haven was first on it. It was Wilson in to recover it. No signal quite yet. Grandville now pointing that they also had the football. It's Grand Haven football. Wilson, I think, was the one at the bottom of the pile with a big hit that was thrown that was able to get to the football. And a turnover for the Bulldogs, and the sophomore Sidinsky. He had the first down, but instead he'll turn it over, and it's Grand Haven football with 4:57 in the fourth. 46-29, so still a long way to go for Grand Haven, but again, the struggles for Grandville tonight on a night that I don't think they're going to be overly thrilled with a lot of their performance, Chandler, that gets added to right there.
Yeah, Stinsky very close. He would have probably had the first down if he had held on to the football. He's been averaging right around 4 yards a carry.
Rodriguez gives to pull on the end around, twisted down by Avon Cott just past the line of scrimmage. He'll dive to the 25 for a gain of 5 on a good stretch on ahead right there from Lance Poole. 4:44 to go, fourth quarter, 2nd and 5 up to their own 25 for the Buccaneers here. So Grandville remains up 46-29. So a 17-point lead, and you're still looking at a 3-score lead, but regardless, it's just some sloppiness from Grandville all around that I do not think they're going to be thrilled with tonight.
No, it's kind of gone in stretches where they've given up some big plays and a couple drives there where they shut it down, then back to a long touchdown play on the previous drive.
Luke Berry, the sophomore, is actually going to play quarterback instead of Rodriguez. He'll give it off right side, and a big tackle made right back from the line of scrimmage. So 3rd and 5 here. So interesting to see Rodriguez with 4:04 to go leave as another sophomore. Luke Berry comes in his place. So Luke Berry now will run the offense. Bigger kid Berry at 6'5", 175 pounds as a sophomore, and he'll go with an empty backfield looking 3 wide receivers. 3rd and 5 from his own 25-yard line. 3 down front for the Bulldogs. Snap to the big sophomore, the man in motion, given on the end around here, and blown up in the backfield. Ball free, taken by Avon Cott. Grandville football. The ball knocked out with a big hit. Avon Cott able to fall right onto it, and Grandville takes over possession after Logan Minier had that off-tackle run that's taken away, and it's Bulldog football. 3:37 in the fourth, 46-29.
Well, the Buccaneers defense forcing a turnover from Sidinsky, and then Craverson responding with a huge hit of his own that time. Perfect form tackle, wrapping him up, and just the contact right on the football, pops it free.
So Grandville takes back over. It's 46-29. Momentarily had a headset from a Grand Haven coach in front of the scoreboard view if you're watching through our Michigan Sports Radio feed as things were flying in the coach's box next to us after that fumble. And the Bulldogs take over from the 21-yard line. 3:37 to go, and a sloppy fourth quarter in this one. Snap to Carson Smith, give Jaden Terry over the 20, pushing his way on down, and he'll shove the pile to the 16-yard line on the first down carry. 3.5 to go in the fourth, 46-29, and everyone just trying to get to the finish right now on the field, up in the booth. Everyone just trying to get to the end of this one on senior night for the Bulldogs.
Trying to keep the clock moving here now. The Bulldogs pretty much right back where they were at before the fumble. Just trying to eat up as much clock as they can. Continue to run the football strong here, giving it to Terry. He's had a wildly successful night again, 139 rushing yards, a couple touchdowns.
Mark will be the 17-yard line officially, 2nd and 6, as the Bulldogs take their time to get this call in from the sideline and look to run that clock on down. 2:47 and less to go fourth quarter. They may be actually running it all the way down and calling a timeout possibly right here. That's exactly what they are doing. Coach Steele calls a timeout. 2:42 in the fourth, 46-29. Grandville leads. Grandville Scott Bates Farmers Insurance Agency, Centennial Securities. You see them circling all game. Our presenting sponsors here at Michigan Game Night. Scott Bates, our title sponsor, out on our banner in the mezzanine area. Interesting scorer. Mona Shores up 15-0 in the fourth quarter over Reese Puffer. Really good year for Reese Puffer. Of course, Cody Cater coming over, the head coach there, the former quarterback standout at Montague, played at Central Michigan. So a good year for Reese Puffer. Of course, we know the game that they played against Muskegon, but an interesting one there. We also are through 3 quarters in East Kentwood as it's 22-20 EK, the lead in that game. 2nd and 6 for Grandville, be coming up out of this timeout with 2:42 in the fourth quarter. 46-29, Grandville's lead. And the Bulldogs will break it out. Carson Smith and company to the sideline. The second unit is out for the Bulldogs. So a big round of applause to a couple Bulldogs seniors that left the field right there. Now Cash Ruffin, the second unit of the offense, will get ready to go to work out of the 2 tight end tee. Ruff give to Moody. He'll push it up the gut and shove it over the 15-yard line to the 14 for a good carry. It's now 3rd and short for the Bulldogs. So you've seen Moody, the big 5'10", 195-pound sophomore, quite a bit. Reed Graverson, also part of the second unit, and Miguel Rojas, another sophomore, in the backfield for the Bulldogs. It's 3rd and 3 from their own 14-yard line. Of course, the big 6'4" quarterback, Cash Ruff. He's got still a little bit of a limp. Remember, he's been fighting that throughout this game at corner. But the guy that we certainly can expect to be the signal caller for the Bulldogs last year or next year, we'll get to see some time right here. 2:04 and less to go, third quarter, 3rd and 3. Ruff, give to Moody again, pushing on ahead, diving. He'll be a yard short of the first down at the 12, and it's 4th and 1 as we tick under 2 minutes to go. And if Grandville can convert, they can end the football game mercifully, 46-29.
Yeah, it was cool on senior night. It was a bit of an adventure to get there, but that moment where you can get the seniors off the field and get them a round of applause, the situation where you get your second team out there and can run the clock down.
Minute and a half to go, fourth quarter, 46-29. An adventure for sure tonight. Grandville over Grand Haven. And Cash Ruff will go to work with the second unit, and Grand Haven jumps offside with, I don't know who it was. There were 4 guys offside. They were showing the blitz, and everybody came right there on the hard count, and that will move the chains for the Bulldogs. We go under 1:20 to go, and that is also going to allow for them, if they wish, to just start kneeing the football, 46-29. Or maybe they want to put some points on the board for playoff points right here down the stretch. They're just going to knee the football and get us out of... Nope, they're going to go out of the tee. I lied. They will go out of the tee here. Two tight end T formation, 1:10 to go. Give to Moody up the gut, 2 hands on the ball. The sophomore pulling his way down towards the 1-yard line. He's just short of the end zone. We'll tick under a minute to go. 1st and goal for the Bulldogs. Good carry there from Moody, 195-pound sophomore. He runs hard when we've seen him on the field in some chances.
Yeah, definitely a strong runner. Going to excel in situations like this near the goal line. Wouldn't be surprised. I guess we'll see how the Bulldogs decide to play here. Probably going to run a play and see if they can't punch it in and build a little bit more positive momentum off a tough game.
I mean, he probably deserves it if they give it to Moody again right here. 1st and goal from the 1-yard line. Ruff turns, give Moody, the sophomore, dives into the end zone. Touchdown, Grandville, one last time with 30 seconds on the board, and we will see Coach Stiegel kick the extra point right here. Well, they were going to, they will add the extra point right here as he was, he had the one-up, Coach Stiegel did. He was making a kicking motion because his kicking unit maybe wasn't fully paying attention at first as he was trying to get their attention, and they will look to add the extra point here with Isaac Strock. 52-29 Grandville, 30 seconds to go, fourth quarter, and our adventure on senior night is about to come to a close as Strock will look to add the extra point. Snap to Smith, right leg through the ball for Strock, and that's a good twisting kick right down the middle of the uprights. All right, 30 seconds to go. We'll step aside one last time. 53-29 Grandville right back here from Bulldog Stadium.
Can you name the 10 winners of the Nobel Peace Prize or the last 5 Miss Americas? The point is the applause dies and the achievements are forgotten. But can you name 3 friends who helped you through tough times or teachers who encouraged you in school? We remember those who make a difference in our lives. I'm Randy Hansen, president of Centennial Securities. What matters to us are the personal relationships we have with our clients, helping them build a secure financial future. As a Centennial Securities customer, you know what I mean. If you're not, isn't it about time?
Member SIPC and FINRA.
All right, welcome back. Nate Dreyer, Chandler Tim with you here on Game Night on Michigan Sports Radio. Let's wrap this thing up. Final 30 seconds, 53-29 Grandville as Emery Moody gets into the end zone for his first score of the year. So good work from the sophomore there, and we will have plenty to talk about in our Scott Bates Farmers Insurance Agency postgame show, so make sure you do not go anywhere, including our Lakeshore Sewing Threading the Needle play of the game and our Centennial Securities player of the contest. All right, 53-29 Grandville. One last time, Isaac Strock will send this one away here for the Bulldogs. Right leg through the ball, high, short kick will be taken on the run by Robinson at the 19-yard line. He'll angle away from one defender at the 30, stay on his feet, twisting and chopping ahead over the 40 down to the 41-yard line where he's tackled from behind, and Grand Haven will get their offense on the field from their own 45-yard line. One last time right here as the second-team Grandville defense will be out to meet them. 20 seconds on the clock, fourth quarter. Last time we saw Barry, we'll see him again. So again, Luke Barry, the sophomore, will fill in for Xavier Rodriguez right here as Grand Haven will have a chance to run one play if they wish, or maybe get a little bit more in, trailing 53-29. The iPads are off in the Grand Haven coaching box next to us, so I'm not sure how many plays they're going to wind up getting run. Barry from the pistol. Granville's running guys on the field late. They'll motion the tailback to the left hip. Right to left in motion goes Minier. They'll fake it to him. They'll give it then on the end around going right side to Sam Ladronka. The sophomore dives over the 50, the 47-yard line. Final 10 seconds off the clock, and I think we have a final 53-29. It was a long night. It was a tough night for the Bulldogs in a lot of respects on senior night, but in the end, they score at will down the stretch of this high-powered T offense. The defense made some adjustments as well. Plenty to work on heading into the final week of the regular season, but the Bulldogs winners again, 53-29, and welcome to the Scott Bates Farmers Insurance Agency postgame show. All right, we made it. I mean, just kind of give us the first overview. There's some good, there's some bad, there's a lot to learn. The fireworks go off over top of Bulldog Stadium, Chandler, as the regular season at least here wraps up. We'll see what happens next week in terms of if the Bulldogs return here. In all likelihood, they will have at least one more game here at Bulldog Stadium based on what all happens. But, man, wrap this one up for us because there's a lot good, a lot bad to come out of this one on the senior night win, and still relatively big win, 53-29.
Yeah, a bit of mixed emotions coming out of this one is obviously getting the win, the most important thing, and on senior night, a huge way to send off your seniors here if this is the last home game. So, I mean, you have to feel good about that, but at the same time, a little bit more of a battle than maybe expected coming in. This Grand Haven team put up a pretty good fight for a team that only has one win, and so they were able to overcome that, but I think definitely a lot of things that as they start to focus in on East Kentwood next week, and then the playoffs after that, they're going to have to clean up.
EK, by the way, just scored again. They go up 29-20 over Hudsonville, so it looks like the Eagles' playoff hopes are about to evaporate. And now East Kentwood and Grandville's matchup next week getting that much more interesting if the Falcons do hang on and win this game, because now you're talking, kind of a head-to-head matchup, some interesting playoff points math to do right there as well. In all likelihood, there really isn't much that East Kentwood can do to be able to pass Grandville still, but you never quite know the way things may go. All right, a lot to break down still. 53-29, Grandville over Grand Haven. Do not go anywhere. We'll be right back on the Scott Bates Farmers Insurance Agency postgame show. We'll have some stats, and we've got some awards to hand out as well. We'll be right back here from Bulldog Stadium.
Are you looking for a new career? Aetna Supply is hiring. Aetna Supply is Michigan's #1 plumber wholesaler, servicing local customers for over 50 years. They offer great benefits, a 401k with company match, quarterly bonuses, and no Sundays. Once again, check them out at aetnasupply.com/careers or click on their logo on the Michigan Sports Radio homepage.
Bowling is a great time that combines great friends, football, and bowling. Compete against your friends or family, throwing a football at 10 real bowling pins. You can bring in your own food, or they have a pair of 45-foot bars featuring soft drinks and adult beverages. Visit bowlingwarehouse.com, Grand Rapids, to reserve your lanes.
Call it a sense of purpose, a higher calling. At Dean Transportation, we call it our passion. It's simply who we are. 60 years of pioneering the best health and safety standards because safe student transportation is essential. We are hard-working folks, connecting children to learning, schools to our communities, and you to a better career. Want to make your community a better place? We'll put you in the driver's seat. Join the Dean family today and help to connect our kids to brighter futures.
Welcome back. Nate Dreyer, Chandler Timmer with you here. It is the Scott Bates Farmers Insurance Agency post-game show. 53-29. Grandville able to win this one as they move on to 6-2 on the season. Grand Haven will fall to 1-6 on the year. I guess I was kind of wrong on some of that math too. If East Kentwood wins, they get themselves to 5 wins. They absolutely could be right in there with a head-to-head, maybe the same record as the Bulldogs next week. And we'll break down all what is coming up next week in our final segment of this post-game show. All right, let's quickly roll through another very long scoring recap from the second half. Just quickly, Rodriguez had a 1-yard touchdown run for Grand Haven. Sadinsky had a 6-yard touchdown run for Granville. Then Kopko in the third quarter followed it with a 19-yard touchdown run of his own, 38-21 Granville after 3. Jaden Terry had a 1-yard run. Emery Moody had a 1-yard run for Granville. Rodriguez found Crenstra for 70 yards in the middle of that. That makes your final score 53-29. Stats, then awards, CT.
All right, yes, pretty big numbers. We'll start with Grand Haven. Rodriguez, the very impressive sophomore, 252 passing yards and over 101 yards on the ground. Poole had 50 yards with a couple touchdowns, 108 receiving yards, and Cornstrow with 95, most of which came on that long touchdown. Some of the big numbers that stood out there for the Bulldogs. Carson Smith, 112 passing yards, along with 56 rushing yards. Jaden Terry led the Bulldogs on the ground, 139 rushing yards. Sadinsky with 42. Kopko 35, and then Moody with 12 there on a touchdown late in the game. LaCroix 105 receiving yards and a touchdown. Sadinsky 1 catch for 7 yards.
All right, Centennial Securities player of the game. It's the freshman. It's the tank, Jaden Terry, with another player of the game. He had a couple of touchdowns and a lot of yards.
Yeah, he sure did. Had multiple plays of 20-plus yards, along with some goal line carries where he was able to punch it in the end zone. The full display of what he's become throughout the season on display.
Yeah, absolutely. And our Lakeshore Sewing threading the needle play of the game. Make sure you visit lakeshoresewing.com for more details on all of their different services. And also make sure you mention to Brian Collins you heard about Lakeshore Sewing while listening to Michigan Sports Radio. All right, a lot of different options, but I think the one standout was the one that put Grandville up 14-7 at the end of the first quarter. It was a 68-yard strike, nearly 70-yard strike from Carson Smith to Braden LaCroix. Those two show off their connection one more time. They did it later in the game as well.
Yeah, they've been a fantastic connection throughout the course of the season for the Bulldogs. They've been running the football effectively, able to then run the play-action pass, take the top off the defense there. LaCroix able to get behind him. Nice throw over the top from Carson Smith. We've seen that connection on pretty much that exact same play a couple times. When the defense isn't ready for the play-action pass, it can be a huge play for the Bulldogs offense.
All right, 53-29, Grandville takes down Grand Haven. We're going to step aside one last time on the Scott Bates Farmers Insurance Agency post-game show. When we come back, what's up next week? Tailgate report, where you can find Granville's broadcast, what we're up to at Hackley Stadium, much more to look forward to. Don't go anywhere. We will wrap things up right after this.
Hello, West Michigan sports fans. I am Mark Kimball. I'm president of the Grand Rapids Sports Hall of Fame. This is our 50th year, and in our 50th year, we like to sit around and chat about all the great things that have happened in the world of sports in our community. I need your help in helping me remember which of those athletes, teams, and events were the most important or the most fun for you to participate in. We're running a series of surveys that are asking for your input in identifying your favorite sporting event over the last 50 years. Some of my favorite events were the very first Whitecaps game or the very first Hoops game. What were your favorite events? And then I like to think about who are the best athletes that we've seen in the last 50 years, both from a female and a male perspective. And finally, tell me who your favorite team is and what they accomplished over the last 50 years.
The sinister cries haunted Mary through the night. Dawn neared, and still the voice tormented her. She ran towards the safety of her car, flung open the door, and a coyote had somehow gotten locked inside. But the damaged interior was covered thanks to Farmers Insurance. Coyote Carpool, August 1st, 2015. Talk to a farmer's agent. We know a thing or two because we've seen a thing or two.
We are farmers. Bum, 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 bum.
Contact the Scott Bates Agency today, 616-531-3441. A proud supporter of MichiganGameNight.com.
Can you name the 10 winners of the Nobel Peace Prize or the last 5 Miss Americas? The point is the applause dies and the achievements are forgotten. But can you name 3 friends who helped you through tough times or teachers who encouraged you in school? We remember those who make a difference in our lives. I'm Randy Hansen, president of Centennial Securities. What matters to us are the personal relationships we have with our clients, helping them build a secure financial future. As a Centennial Securities customer, you know what I mean. If you're not, isn't it about time?
Member SIPC and FINRA.
Scott Bates Farmers Insurance Agency. Postgame show, 53-29, Grandville over Grand Haven. And a lot, as of course we said from this one. What is up next week? First off, Michigan Game Night YouTube page, Tuesday or Wednesday it comes out. Last week it was going to be Tuesday, but then it deleted. It's a long story. But I uploaded it to the wrong YouTube account, and it was a whole problem. But it's up middle of the week. We have a lot to break down this week, Chandler, because a couple different things you may want to listen to if you're a Grandville Bulldogs fan. Exclusively, they've got a really interesting matchup at East Kentwood, and the plan is that Joey Sutherland and company will have the coverage from EK. I mean, first off, talk about that matchup. It's going to be interesting. I mean, you're looking at maybe 2-3 seed based on what happens at the West Ottawa game, because now it really does come down to West Ottawa, Grand Rapids Union. It could be the battle for a 2-3 seed. It very possibly might be back-to-back weeks. These teams are seeing each other. East Kentwood's good. They're athletic. I mean, Coach Kimbrough's team is interesting this year, and the way that they beat looks like on their way to beating Hudsonville tonight as well. Like, that's a tough matchup. I think it's probably not quite the matchup we first thought it would be at the start of the year, because not necessarily because the Bulldogs are worse than we thought they were, because these Kentwood teams have been so solid.
Yeah, the Falcons have been impressive and put themselves in a really good spot where, they set up a matchup next week and almost kind of an additional playoff game. I mean, both teams are in the playoffs at this point, but in terms of seeding there, and both teams desperately going to want that one as they finish up the regular season. But yeah, Falcons team that's played some great defense, have started to find some offense as well, beating a good Hudsonville team here tonight, and so trying to tack one more win for each of these schools.
Where can you find your favorite broadcast team? Well, we are going to be at Hackley Stadium is the plan. If something changes with the Grandville East Kentwood broadcast, that may change this as well. But the plan is we're going to be at Hackley Stadium for Mona Shores Muskegon. We've already reached out. We're already getting our spot there, because you know how crowded it is and what you're going to find there each and every year for this matchup. But Muskegon, Mona Shores, tell me how excited you are about that game. 2 offenses I love to cover, 2 teams I love to cover. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah, I think it could be a great game. I mean, when you're talking about perennial powers like that, rivalry game like that, Week 9 of the regular season, should definitely be some fireworks, and looking forward to see that one in person.
All right, I think that'll do it. I'm going to get out of here now. This was a long night for sure, and there's a lot of good, a lot of bad that I think each of these teams, or Grandville at least, is going to take from this one, and we'll have to see what they can do. But at the end of the day, the positive is they find a win, 53-20, and they score 50-plus points again, despite everything that may have happened, and they stay winning. Grandville goes to 6-2 on the season. 1 game left in the regular season. We'll see everyone on the Tailgate Report middle of next week. For Chandler Timmer, my name is Nate Dreyer, signing off. We'll see everyone next week.
you